A very good afternoon and welcome to the number one sports show on the African continent, Africa at Play. We are live on DSTV Audio Bouquet channel 802 or OpenView 628 and streaming live on YouTube. Also available everywhere for everyone, always on SABC+. We are together until 5 p.m. Central African Time. My name is Neto and Neto Chemane. Hosiati konyangazi mumkhatshwa phandle kunjani moyani vuguvugu dendele. Coming up on Africa at Play, South Africa humiliated New Zealand and condemned the All Blacks to their heaviest ever defeat after New Zealand held on for victory to extend their unbeaten streak at Eden Park last weekend. The Springboks scored 43 points in a sensational six-try victory to revive their rugby championship title hopes in Wellington. It was South Africa's biggest ever score on New Zealand soil, while the 33-point margin of defeat was the biggest New Zealand had suffered in their entire history. Here is Springbok skipper Siyamthanda Siyakolisi on the win.
Yeah, I want to give credit to my boys. We didn't give up. And to our coach as well, to giving guys opportunity in the games like this. It's a squad effort, it's a squad effort. Everybody was talking about a young team. How do you make the young teams experience? You get them to play. So thank you to them and the guys that didn't get opportunity to play in New Zealand. To take our opportunities when we get them. We created 13 opportunities. Sometimes teams don't get those opportunities against New Zealand. It's really hard to get in the 22. And we played fearless. We said we're not going to hold back. We know what we need to do. And we believed in ourselves. That was the most important thing out there. We told the guys, like Sasha, we don't box them. Do what's in your skill set and go 100%. And that's what we did today.
Government. And
our Zambian correspondent Namuchana spoke with the award-winning sport journalist Wezima Zunda on why big companies shy away from sponsoring national teams and clubs on the African continent despite raw talent and promising future.
I believe it's lack of professionalism, accountability, and responsibility. I believe that's what it is. Because, people have talked. The need is there. There is need to just work well for posterity. Because when you invest in something, you invest in it because you want posterity to judge you right at the end of time. It's just the right thing. So I think some companies, what has happened is maybe they've invested in some project, some venture in sport. And then there's been no accountability. There's been mismanagement of funds. The intended goal at the end of the day is not met.
Canelo Alvarez titles, which include the WBA, WBC, IBF and WBO, will be on the line when he squares off with Terence Crawford in Las Vegas tonight. Around that core, the promoters have piled on the trimmings. The Ring Magazine's specially commissioned strap said to cost $188,000, the WBC's ornate Nawai Hui commemorative belt and a new Crown Series championship ring designed in Los Angeles and valued at more than $100,000, set with nearly 10 carats of stones will also be on the line. Here's Canelo ahead of the clash.
I feel great. For me, this fight means a lot, and I feel great. Ready. I can't wait for Saturday night. And thank everybody coming to support the event, and I can't wait. This fight for me is big. It's one of the biggest fights in my career for sure. Means a lot, this win, and it's gonna be in the very top.
In the world of sport, matches that have been taking place across the African continent and globally, kickoff started earlier today with the Rugby Championship matches. We've touched on the Springboks victory. Argentina held on to claim a tense 28-26 win against Australia in the Rugby Championship. And talking about the Rugby Championship, what is exciting is that in the Women's Rugby World Cup quarterfinals 2022, that started on the 22nd of August and concluding on the 27th of September 2025, which is the 10th edition. Today we've entered into the quarterfinal matches and New Zealand will be taking on South Africa. Earlier on we witnessed the male category of the box, and later today it is now the female category. Actually, that match kicked off at 1400 Central African Time. We will be updating you on the scoreline of that match. In another match that's coming up at 5 p.m. Central African Time, it is Canada up against Australia. Then tomorrow, 2 matches of the quarterfinals of the ongoing Women's Rugby World Cup. It will be France tackling Ireland at 2 p.m. Central African Time, while at 5 p.m. Central African Time, the English will battle it out with Scotland in the 4th and final quarterfinal match. In the world of cricket, the International Cricket Council, ICC T20 international matches, England defeated the Proteas of South Africa yesterday by 146 runs, and the two nations are tied at 1-1 after South Africa won the first T20 match. The third and final T20 international match between the two nations is taking place tomorrow on the English ground at 15:30 Central African Time. Then in football, we've got the South African football scene where Orlando Pirates will be taking on Stellenbosch FC, and these are the back-to-back MTN 8 finalists. Orlando Pirates won the last edition in 2024, marking their third consecutive victory. They are now looking to win it for the 4th time in a row, while Stellenbosch are looking to upset the Buccaneers, and that match is taking place at 6 p.m. Central African Time. In the FIFA World Cup African qualifiers, matches that took place earlier this week during the FIFA week, it was match day 8 of 10, and Uganda managed to beat Somalia by 2-0, while Libya also managed a victory of the same scoreline, 2-0 against Eswatini. Sihlangu Semnikati, they are also called. Ghana, the Black Stars, managed a narrow 1-0 win against Mali, while Kenya, the Harambee Stars of Benny McCarthy, surprised Seychelles, beating them by 5-0 in a one-way traffic match, and Zimbabwe went down to Amavubi, Rwanda by 1-0. Taifa Stars Tanzania went down to Niger by 1-0, and this is the match that produced a red card for Niger. Namibia beat Sao Tome e Principe by 3-0, and all these matches took place on Tuesday. Another match that took place on the same day was Sierra Leone beating Ethiopia by 2-0, while Burkina Faso, the Stallions, and the Pharaohs played to a 0-0 draw, and Togo beat Sudan by 1-0, while South Africa, the Bafana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the arch rivalry between the two nations, continued, a match that ended in a 1-1 draw. A very dramatic match where a lot of people felt like the hand of God prevailed when Nigeria equalized for a header that landed on a head and then straight to the back of the net. In the absence of VAR, the officials whistled for a goal, and that match ended in a 1-1 draw. Cape Verde beat Cameroon, the Indomitable Lions, by 1-0, and DR Congo went down to Teranga Lions of Senegal by 3-2, while Mauritania and South Sudan played to a dull 0-0 draw. Another 0-0 draw between Gabon and Ivory Coast, the Elephants. Angola, the Portuguese-speaking African nation, beat Mauritius by 3-1, while Gambia beat Burundi by 2-0, and Benin had a good day on the pitch, beating Dikwena tsa Lesotho by 4-0. And what is still coming up is the group stage matches that will be match day 9, that will be taking place in the next FIFA break, that is the 6th of October, and it will be a full-packed fixtures of the FIFA World Cup African qualifiers, 20 matches across different parts of the African continent, and this is where we will get to know which African nations will be going to the 2026 FIFA World Cup to represent the African continent. Do get in touch with us on our different social media platforms. On Instagram and X is at Channel Africa 1, and on Facebook the name of our station, Channel Africa. My name is Neto Chemane. This is Africa at Play as Delil Siashaya. We will be back after the short break.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. From football fields to finish lines.
Eliud Kipchoge storms into the history books.
Neto Chemane brings you sports on Africa at Play.
14:10 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a warm welcome to Africa at Play. We are live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time. There is a big occasion in South African football. Orlando Pirates, Zimnyama Ngenkani, also known as the Buccaneers and the Sea Robbers, will be looking for their fourth consecutive MTN 8 title as they will be taking on Stellenbosch, a side that made it to last year's final but couldn't lift the golden medallion and trophy. And that trophy, after Orlando Pirates triumphed on 3 back-to-back occasions, it then remained theirs, and they're starting on a clean slate, looking to see if they can do it again, and that will be interesting to witness. We now welcome to Africa at Play a gentleman who's done wonders, becoming the last journalist standing under the umbrella of the MTN 8. I'm talking about Ofani Munyai, who is a Far Post senior journalist who is doing wonders out there, who's going to talk to us about what it entails to be a last journalist standing, but also previewing the match that is coming up at 1800 Central African Time. Ofani, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Good afternoon, Neto. Good afternoon to your listeners, and good to be on your show.
Congratulations, man. Just the flow of your voice tells why you were so quick to be able to be the last journalist standing. Talk to us about what it entails. How did you go about it?
No, thank you so much, Neto. I really appreciate the message of support. And also, what happens is that the MTN 8 last journalist standing competition is basically designed for every journalist in the country. So what they do is that they release sort of a quiz at the provincial level, whereby you compete with your colleagues at the provincial level, and the number one journalist in terms of that quiz then gets an opportunity to go to the national level to compete with 8 or 7 other journalists from different provinces. I think the only province that I think it's not there is Northern Cape. So it's 8 journalists that gather at one place. What happens is that it's a format more like an MTN 8, whereby you have the quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the finals. So the quarterfinals, you get it to be drawn with a colleague. So I was drawn with a colleague from KZN, then where I won, and basically you answer questions, and the fastest and the person to answer most questions is the one that obviously goes through. So I managed to go through from the first round, which is the quarterfinal, and then in the semi-finals, the second round, I met a colleague from the Sowetan, where I also managed to go through to the final. And also in the final, I met a colleague from the Eastern Cape, I think his name is Anat, from East London, where I also was lucky enough to manage to get more answers than him, and eventually I became the winner of the last journalist standing, where I got the opportunity to win 80,000 rand.
Interesting indeed. If you have just joined us, we are talking to a journalist who is the last man standing under the umbrella of the MTN 8, that is Ofani Munyai. Ofani, are you already in Mbombela or still heading there?
No, as I talk to you now, I'm about to leave the hotel, heading to the stadium because the gates only open now at 2. So we are hoping that by 3 o'clock we'll be inside the stadium, because if you remember, last season there were a bit of issues in terms of the traffic in Mbombela. So we're hoping that this year, obviously, things will be clear, and we'll get an opportunity to get to the stadium early, and settle. And looking forward to the big one, as you said in your introduction. I think for me, besides the fact that Pirates, in terms of the support, overpower Stellenbosch, but for me, I think still it's a club that we can't really take for granted, because as you rightly said, they were in the finals last season. They were very, very unfortunate, obviously, because we remember the incidents, of that final where we all thought, they had a chance, and then Pirates got a free kick that, remains a talking point to many. But well done to Pirates. But I think this time around, it's not going to be an easy game for Pirates, if I may say.
A lot of people have been looking for tickets. Those that knows me have been calling me left, right and center. Don't you have Tunyana? And I'm thinking football is on another level when it comes to cup competitions, especially the finals. It doesn't matter who's in the final as long as you have one of the big three giants between Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. You stand a good chance to have a sold-out affair, especially if you take these matches to other provinces that are super hungry and thirsty for the game of football, like Mpumalanga province.
I think it's a good idea to bring these cup finals to provinces such as Mpumalanga. I mean, Durban has had their fair share. Limpopo as well at some point also they had finals. I think the last time it was in 2015 or 16. Bloom as well last season they hosted the Kaling Cup, knockout cup. So we are expecting obviously a sold out affair. But as the league themselves will always say that it's advisable for those that have not purchased the tickets to find an alternative in terms of watching the game either at home or at a place where other people might be watching. But I wouldn't advise anyone who doesn't have a ticket to get closer to the stadium, because it's not only risky to them but obviously for everyone, because I think the authorities as well during the week they've made it clear that they're going to be very, very strict in terms of people who might want to play tricks in terms of tickets, because obviously they're sold out, and we're expecting people from here in Mbombela and other parts of the province, because I saw people coming in as early as yesterday, so that they want to witness this game. So I think the message is clear. If you don't have a ticket, to be honest, you better stay at home, enjoy watching on TV, and I'm sure the SABC will be broadcasting the game as well.
Indeed. And let's also talk about the goals. Are we likely to witness an avalanche of goals, or it's one of those games where it's going to be tactical with the coaches trying to sit back as much as possible, not to give in that much, and they end up outrunning their energies, and then on the 11th hour they get punished? What are your thoughts on what's likely to unpack out there?
I think it's an interesting question about the goals, Neto, because last season, the whole competition, we only had 20 goals. As it stands now, we have 24 goals, and obviously it's a cup final. I'm not expecting anything less than 3 goals. I'm expecting a 2-1. Obviously, with Stellenbosch this time around taking it. But you also mentioned the fact that obviously the goals have been coming. Stellenbosch as well this campaign, they've been good. I think they are a club that has scored not the most goals, because I know Sundowns before they were knocked out they also scored 6 goals, but Stellenbosch scored 6 as well. And look, obviously the 3 goals against Amazulu in the first game, the 2 against Kokune as well, and the 1 goal away. So it's a club that has been scoring in almost all the games that they've been playing in this MTN 8. And obviously Pirates, for me, they're a club that for now they're a bit unsettled, and if there's an opportunity for Stellenbosch to capitalize, it will be this final, because obviously as I said, Pirates have a new coach, they've been trying a lot of combinations, they've been trying a lot of new players, so I expect goals, and I really anticipate an upset, especially if you're a Pirates fan. I'm not saying I'm saying that there might be an upset at the end of the game, Neto and listeners.
14:19 Central African Time. We are talking to the Far Post senior journalist, who is also the last journalist standing under the MTN 8. That is Ofani Munyai. Ofani, please do stay on the line. We take a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with the FIFA World Cup African qualifiers and find out from Ofani Munyai what are his thoughts on the game between Bafana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Bafana scoring from an own goal, and that goes to show that when you attack, anything is possible. But the Super Eagles, a dodgy goal to equalize. From my eyes, it looked like it went from the head to the hand and the hand to the back of the net in the absence of VAR, and that ruled in for a goal. We'll find out from Ofani Munyai what are his thoughts after this short break.
Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa at Play with Neto and Neto Chemane.
14:21 Central African Time. This is Africa at Play. A warm welcome if you have just joined us. We are wrapping up a conversation with Ofani Munyai, who is the MTN8 last journalist standing for showing his knowledge about the tournament and football in general. He is currently in Mpumalanga in South Africa's Mpumalanga province in Mbombela, and he will be witnessing the final between Ezimnyamangekani and Stelis, and these are the two teams that have made it to last year's final. But we want to wrap up with him looking back at the FIFA World Cup African qualifiers matches that took place earlier this week. We've witnessed in Group C, South Africa's Bafana played to a 1-0 draw against Nigeria. Bafana are sitting on the summit with 17 points, followed by Benin on 14, Nigeria on 11, together with Amavubi Rwanda also on 11. Dikwena tsa Lesotho battling at the bottom together with Zimbabwe in the basement with 6 points and 4 points respectively. Ofani, your thoughts on the outcome of Bafana versus the Super Eagles?
To be honest, Neto, I thought we deserve to win that match, as you rightfully said, because honestly, the Super Eagles are not the same Super Eagles you will know. I mean, despite the fact that they still have the superstars that are playing across the world, I think Bafana also as well. They've improved a lot. They've actually been dominant in both the African continent. Obviously, we were very unfortunate in the AFCON in Ivory Coast, but coming to the game, I thought the draw, well, we deserve to win, but it's a good result based on the fact that, as you said now, I mean, we are on 17 points, and I'm sure a win and a draw will be more than enough for us to go through to the World Cup and Canada and Mexico. I mean, despite the fact that we have got that hanging issue of Tebuko Mokoena not being resolved as soon as possible, obviously, by FIFA. Look, it's a decent result. What we need to do is that, obviously, we need to beat Rwanda. We also need to beat Zimbabwe, and I'm sure that the Zimbabwean match is likely to be played here in South Africa. So, obviously, that's a home advantage as well for us, for South Africans to go into the stadium to support these boys. But I have no doubt, Neto, that we are going to qualify for the World Cup, and the draw against Nigeria, for me, I mean, look, it's decent enough, but I need to warn here. I think for me, the South African competitors are not really Nigeria. I think for me, and I've said this before the Nigerian game, that we need to watch out for Benin, because whatever happens with the Tebuko Mokoena case, Benin are coming, despite the fact that we beat them in both home and away games, they have a better chance. To catch us than Nigeria, And for me, I think it has always been Bafana, Benin, and Rwanda, not Nigeria, because Nigeria have been more of a weak team for me in this group. Because if it was a Nigeria that we know that have been dominant over the years, I'm sure they would have been number one now. So look, whatever happens, South Africa, I think we have an opportunity to qualify automatically, or obviously go to the other qualifying campaign, whereby we have to finish as one of the best runners-up in our group. But as it stands, I think the result was decent enough, and there's no turning back for Hugo Bruce and his boys. I think they are definitely going to the World Cup next year.
Ofani Munyai talking to us all the way from Mbombela in the country's Mpumalanga province. He will be witnessing the big occasion, the MTN8 final between Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch FC. Ofani, always an awesome pleasure talking to you on Africa at Play. All the best. May football win in Mbombela.
Thank you so much, Neto. May football win, and I'm hoping that by 8 o'clock we'll have the winner, as I said, and more goals scored at the Mbombela Stadium.
Exciting indeed. 14:25 Central African Time. We will be connecting with the MTN 8 ambassador Fabian McCarthy, former Kaizer Chiefs and Bafana Bafana defender, very shortly. Let's update you. If you're a Premier League fan, Arsenal is leading Nottingham Forest by 1-0, and that match is still on a halftime break. AFC Bournemouth will be taking on Brighton and Hove Albion at 4 p.m. Central African Time. Another match taking place at the same time is Newcastle United up against Wolverhampton Wanderers, also known as the Wolves. Then we will witness Everton FC up against Aston Villa, the Villains, and that match is also at 4 p.m. Central African Time. Another match at the same time is Crystal Palace up against Sunderland, followed by Fulham and Leeds United, while West Ham United will be taking on Tottenham Hotspur at 18:30 Central African Time. Brentford will take on Chelsea at 2100 Central African Time, and tomorrow there's more action in the Premier League. Burnley will be up against Liverpool at 3 p.m. Central African Time. Manchester City up against Manchester United. This is my match of the weekend. It's an obvious no-brainer. It is a big brand of football, the Manchester Derby, and that match is taking place tomorrow at 17:30 Central African Time, and this marks match day 4 of the Premier League out of match day 38. Still a journey, but interesting football days.
Africa in Business on Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from them is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African perspective. No fairy tales, just the facts and the music you love on Channel Africa.
14:31 Central African Time. It is an awesome African sound all the way from the east of the continent. That is Yelebe, and it is by Hallelujah Tekle Tzadik. It is that time, as we've promised, that we will be talking to the football legend, the MTN 8 ambassador, Fabian McCarthy, former Kaizer Chiefs and Bafana defender. Gazi, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Hey, Gazi, good afternoon to your listeners, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Are you in Mbombela by any chance?
My brother, I'm in the bus with all the legends. We in traffic. We're on our way to the stadium.
Interesting indeed. And it is a sold-out affair. What does that imply?
Listen, it's been a sold-out affair, even in the domestic league games, which say to you that South African football is going back to where we belong. We don't want to talk about other countries or focus on any other thing, but our national teams are doing well, and obviously our clubs are doing well. And what a way to MTN 8, you know, it's Wafa Wafa. Christmas comes early with MTN.
Gazi, from the start of the tournament in 2025, was it easy to predict that 2024 finalists Orlando Pirates and Stellenbosch FC will repeat the history and make it to this year's final?
No, not at all. You know, we all had our different predictions, our different teams that will come into the final. But this is a repeat of last year's final. And last year's final in Mbombela, you know, it finished with a bang. 3-1 was the scoreline. You know, there's goals for charity, 20,000 per goal. We're sitting on 420K now. And I'm hoping for 4 goals again today. I don't know if Stellies are going to pay Pirates back, or is Pirates going to continue with where they left off last season. And Pirates this season, they're playing with a crest on the sleeve, which MTN 8 is acknowledging them as the defending champions, and they're going for the 4th title, Gazi. They kept the old trophy, so the new one now, Gazi, and you know it's 10 million rand. It's winner takes all. It's Wafa Wafa, Bazok Fila.
And remember, the 4 goals you are hoping for or predicting could also mean a 2-all draw. What happens if that's the case?
Gazi, if it's a 2-2, we take the 80,000, we put it on top of the charity goals for charity, which is 500,000, which was our target to reach for charity organizations that will benefit with the winning team. MTN 8 and MTN Foundation will decide who the money is going to go to. So I'm saying, may the best team win, but let us get goals for charity.
And I know Lakile Khwati, former Orlando Pirates captain, is with Orlando Pirates this year. So he's one of the last...
Don't talk. It's last legend standing. I'm sitting next to him. Morgan is sitting in front. Morgan is going with Stellies. But lucky he knows I'm going for Stellies win, brah.
Stellies win. Interesting indeed.
Win. Yeah.
And overall, how do you wrap up the MTN 8 this year? Also considering that football in the country looks promising, where we get to witness these sold-out affairs, and they're good for the game of football.
Yes, very much good. And you know, any team wants to play this competition. Any team wants to win the MTN 8. But it's only those that are really well prepared and really want it more. You know, so come end of the season, I know Kaizer Chiefs will be next year in the MTN 8 final, and we will see how far we go with that. But only the best teams, you saw the semi-final, was the top 4 teams of last season. So well deserved. This is a final that wasn't predicted by most of the people, but again, Stellies are doing their business. They know what to do. Pirates are under pressure. Stellies, people are saying because they lost their star players, but I'm telling you, there's going to be 1 or 2 that are going to raise their hands, and I think Orlando Pirates is in for a good final today. If they too complacent and coming here and thinking they will just get it easy and done with Stellies, it's going to be a good final, Gazi, and we are already entering the stadium now, so let us enjoy the cup final. May the best team win, but you know, Gazi, it's Stellies or next.
And talking about Stellies, Gazi, let's also talk about the color of the paint. Will Mbombela be painted in black and white or maroon and gold? I know for sure Orlando Pirates have more fans than Stellies, but hey, this is football. You'll be surprised. Maybe they've rented a crowd.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, Orlando Pirates is a favorite, and obviously the stadium will be will be overcrowded with their supporters. But as the MTN8 legends, we're painting our own section yellow for this final. And then Stellies and the other friends of Stellies in the league, they will definitely come and support Stellies. So may the best team win, Ghazi, and may us see a good final. It's the 18th edition of the MTN8, and this cup is changing lives. It's bringing us closer to our fans. It's giving our fans something to win, and the last fan standing will be announced during halftime. Once again, MTN will announce a millionaire come halftime from an ordinary football lover, MTN subscriber, Umzansi citizen, and everything is possible with MTN.
Anything is possible with MTN8. It's Wafa time. Orlando Pirates, the Buccaneers, also known as Ezimnyama Ngenkane, and the Sirobas will be up against Stellenbosch FC, all the way from Western Cape. It is Soweto up against Western Cape. Fabian McCarthy helping us to tell us a picture of what is likely to happen. Currently in a bus about to get off at the Mbombela Stadium, where this action will be taking place at 1800 Central African time. Gazi, thank you so much for talking to us on Africa at Play. Pass our regards from Africa at Play team to the legends that are with you in the bus.
Thank you, Ghazi, and you all at Africa at Play. Keep up the good work and all the best. And thanks for keeping us in touch with our supporters. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Fabian McCarthy, the former Kaizer Chiefs and Bafana defender who is in Mbombela at South Africa's Mpumalanga province to witness the big occasion that is the MTN8 final. Two back-to-back finalists, Orlando Pirates up against Stellenbosch FC. Is it time for Stellenbosch to get some joy out of the MTN8 final, or Orlando Pirates will continue where they left off? You've got the answers. You've got the predictions. All I'm saying is that football will be the winner come the final whistle. Let's also update you on football matches that are taking place in different parts of the African continent and globally. Let's go to Zimbabwe, where today it's match day 28 out of 29 because of how unique the Zimbabwean Premier Soccer League is structured. The league kicks in January and not in August, when the rest of the leagues across the continent and globally kick off because they are avoiding the rainy season. Hirantals will be up against Caps United at 2 p.m. at 1500 Central African time, while Chicken Inn will take on Kwekwe United at 3 p.m. Central African time. Another match that's taking place at the same time is Telwan up against MWOS, while reigning champions Simba Bora will take on Scotland, and Yada will line up against Bikita Minerals, while FC Platinum will take on Highlanders. And all these matches are slated for 3 p.m. Central African time. Kariba up against Ngezi, also at 3 p.m. Central African time. Manika Diamonds will take on Green Fuel at the same time, and Dynamos will take on Triangle United, also at 3 p.m. Central African time. 14:39 Central African time. It's time to take a short break. We will be back shortly at 3 p.m. We will be welcoming our bundle of joy in sport, Matteo Saladino, together with his mother, that is Natalie Saladino, and they are both motorsport drivers, like mother, like son. That conversation coming up shortly. But for now, it's time for a break.
On Channel Africa.
The United States was very vocal at the beginning of South Africa's G20 presidency, and this is largely due to strained relations with South Africa at the time, that they were not really keen on participating. Where do they stand right now?
The US is planning to take over the presidency of the G20 next year, and our understanding from then is that they intend to continue to do so, and therefore it is quite difficult then to be in a situation where you are not attending deputies' meetings or discussions during our presidency and then to take over the presidency next year. From a finance track perspective, there has been engagement. We've been working on a communique last week and this week here in Zimbabwe. What's important about that is that it's a consensus document. And so all the members in the room have to agree to the language that is used there. And our US colleagues have been part of those discussions and negotiations.
Bringing the African markets into your home. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, Speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC.
180 minutes on the world of sports and music.
That's Africa at Play.
With Neto, Neto Chemane on Channel Africa
From an African perspective.
14:41 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. My day started bright and early at the Wanderers Club, where the Hollywood Bats Joburg, a 10-kilometer race started and finished. And this is where we got to witness purple all the way because of the athletes that came in their numbers. Over 8,000 athletes, including elite athletes. And talking about the elite athletes, we now welcome to Africa at Play the male category winner, that is Thabang Mosiako, who finished first with a time of 29.44 seconds, breaking that 30 minutes, making certain that he finishes before the 30 minutes mark. Thabang, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Afternoon. I'm really honored to be there.
Yeah, your line is a bit unclear. I'm wondering if you are able to move a touch a bit, and let's see if we can establish a better line. Please say something. I'll let you know if it's sounding better. Thabang, are you still there? It looks like we're having network challenges with that line from Thabang Mosiako, the victor of the male category of the second edition of the Hollywood Bats Joburg 10-kilometer race that took place earlier today at the Wanderers Club, being the start and the finish point. Let's welcome him back as we were trying to establish a better line so we don't lose out on the great news that comes from a happy man after winning this race earlier this morning. Thabang, good afternoon and welcome back to Africa at Play.
I'm really honored and happy to be here for hosting me here. Thank you.
It was good to see you on the finish line. I was on the front line making certain that I get to witness who the winner becomes, and you became the winner. Talk to us about your preparations to this race. Did you see it coming that you wanted to grab this first position?
To be honest, I didn't see it coming, but at the end of the day, I will say I'm really happy with my win, as I was been preparing very hard. We've been working very hard as I was preparing for Cape Town Marathon. I think everything, the plans are going accordingly. I'm really happy with the victory today.
You also participated at the Durban edition of the Hollywood Bats 10-kilometer race that took place on the 30th of August, just about 2 weeks ago. Were you using that Durban race to prepare for the Joburg edition, or it just happened that the Joburg edition came at the right time for you to be the winner?
Clearly, I didn't use Durban edition to my preparation for Joburg. I know Joburg is hard. Like last year, I was number 2 in Joburg, but just a split seconds before the champion. So this year, I told myself that no, man, this year we need to work differently. So go to the drawing board so that we can correct last year's mistake. And then we just did that, and I'm really happy with the win.
2024 runner-up Thabang Mosiako, 2025 champion of the Hollywood Bats Joburg 10-kilometer race. Now coming up your way is the Cape Town Marathon. How do you feel about the Cape Town Marathon, especially after winning the Hollywood Bats Joburg 10-kilometer race?
I think now I just need to do some touch-ups and I just need to do some touch-ups. I'm cooked. I'm ready for Cape Town Marathon. I can't wait for the day.
Were you happy with the time that you've clocked this morning?
Yeah, I'm very happy because like running 29 in Joburg is not a child's play. So I think the plans worked and even the program is working very well. Yeah, I'm ready.
And if you compare the two routes between the Joburg and the Durban route, which route do you enjoy the most and why?
I'm a guy who likes to run on flat courses, to be honest. But I didn't have the capabilities last week in Durban. But I think it's the right time now. I'm getting there. Even the fitness is getting there, so I think I'm gonna enjoy everything. Like Joburg it's tough, but I didn't feel it that much compared to last year. So I think now I'm ready.
And what else is left on your calendar for 2025 except for the upcoming Cape Town Marathon?
I will only run Joburg, Absa Joburg 10K next of next week, yeah, on the 24th September, and then that will be my last race up until I run Cape Town Marathon.
And running also could put on the table things like injuries. How has the journey been for 2025 to date? Have you suffered any injuries or you've just been blessed with a good fitness level?
So just immediately after my first marathon in Abu Dhabi, I picked an injury. I teared my hamstring. It was like 9 weeks off. It was very terrible. I was into physios in and out, like it was very hard for me, but because of the support that I get from my family, from people around me, like my close friends, yeah, they made me so strong, made me feel so strong, and now I'm back again. No injuries. I'm stress-free now. I can run.
And you're talking about the support structure just when I was about to ask you as to how do you cope during that moment where you are going through a terrible injury as you've described it. How do you bounce back from it? But you've touched on the support that you get from the family. But there's always that moment where you've got to face the reality and deal with the setback of that injury. How do you bounce back personally without relying on any motivation from the support structure?
Yeah, you need to be mentally strong. Yeah, you must just know that my time will come. Just relax, take it easy, listen to your physio, like follow everything that your physio is telling you. Like even your training. Like I still remember the physio last time told me that Tabang, you're gonna be off for 9 weeks, and then please don't harm yourself. Please just relax for these 4 weeks, and after 4 weeks you must start jogging. Like jog something like 6 minutes to 7 minutes per kilo. It was very hard. I never thought I would run again in my life, but at least I was so strong. I think I'm a strong athlete. I'm mentally strong and I'm fit enough.
2024 runner-up and 2025 champion of the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10-kilometer race. And this goes to show that in life, if you want to achieve something, you keep going with resilience, and you persevere until you get what you want. Finally, Thabang Mosiako achieved the golden medallion that he's always been looking for from the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10-kilometer race. Thabang, congratulations. All the best with the Cape Town Marathon and the rest of the events that are lined up on your calendar.
Thank you so much.
14:49 Central African Time. This is Africa at Play. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome. We take a short break. When we come back, we will connect with the female victor all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, Frida Ndinda, who was the 2024 champion of the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10-kilometer race and managed to successfully defend her title. This is an amazing African story. Back-to-back victor of the female category of the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10-kilometer. We are back after the short break.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine, weekdays 6 till 9.
Former politician and diplomat, he's the leader of the Democratic Alliance Party at one stage, and also served as South Africa's ambassador to Argentina, Uruguay and Paraguay. Ambassador Tony Leon, if you were party leader now and in the GNU, what would you be pushing for?
I can speak with some direct experience because, as you might know, I was actually one of the negotiators of the GNU last year when it was formed. What I'd be pushing for is to hold the government or the president's feet to the fire on actually operationalizing the agreement that was implemented. Unfortunately, that agreement has been honored only in its breach. And I think, go back to basics and just say, okay, we're not going any further with this arrangement until we actually implement these steps.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Africa at Play with Neto and Neto Chemane.
14:51 Central African Time. We got to speak to the male champion of the Hollywood Bets at Joburg 10 kilometer, Tabang Musiako, and we now welcome to Africa at Play the female winner, that is Frida Ndinda, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. It was a bright morning colored with purple from different parts of the area, from the Wanderers Club, where it was the start and the finish of this exciting race. Frida, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was good to witness you winning this race that you've won in 2024, and you came back to to continue where you left off, making certain that you defend your title successfully. Talk to us about being a back-to-back victor of the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10 kilometer race.
Thank you so much. I'm happy for the victory today, and defending the title back to back is not that easy. So when I went there back to Kenya, I went and continued with my training. I kept pushing on the hills. I kept pushing on speed and some endurance on the long distance, like 15 kilometers. Yeah. So it was quite good preparation, and coming back here in Joburg, I was sure I'm going to do it.
Exciting indeed. And Frida, we were in Durban just 2 weeks ago, and I got to see you finishing third, getting that bronze medallion. And here you are in Johannesburg, winning the same race that you've won last year. Is it an issue where the routes are different and you weren't so comfortable in Durban? Or what could have been the difference between the races? Because in Johannesburg, you seem to be more comfortable than you were in Durban.
Thank you for that question. When I was in Durban, the last 2 weeks, I wasn't that much good because I had a flu. Though I did mention it because I did want to take it like an excuse on my race, so I just kept quiet for it and decided to go with it. And I was happy to be in position 3. So the comparison between Durban and Joburg here today, Joburg is not the same like Durban. Durban, the course was a bit flat, and checking here on Joburg, the course is not that flat. It's got some hills, so we can't compare them. And then when I go back there in Durban next year, I'm going to drop that time because my body wasn't that well on that day. So I just thank God I stayed in the podium. Yep.
If you have just joined us, a warm welcome to Africa at Play. We are talking to Frida Ndinda, all the way from East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya, who is the back-to-back victor of the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10 kilometer race. She won it in 2024 and defended her title successfully earlier this morning at the Wanderers Club, which was the start and the finish. Frida, you are originally from East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya. How often do you come to South Africa for this kind of races? I know you were in Durban 2 weeks ago, and I'm wondering if you left for Kenya and came back, or you just stayed on in preparation of earlier this morning's race.
Oh, thanks for the question. After we were done with the Durban 10 kilometer, I went home the same day after the race, so I rushed to the airport, so I went back home. So for those 2 weeks, I have been training back home. I haven't been staying in Joburg. Yeah.
Are you going back to Kenya anytime soon, and when is that?
Today.
You're going back today? Oh, you're at the airport already. Hey, you don't waste time, eh?
Yeah.
From celebrating straight to the airport. What will you be getting up to when you arrive in Kenya?
Sorry?
What will you be up to when you arrive in Kenya?
When I go back there in Kenya, I'm going to continue with my training because I have one race in October and I have another one in December. But for the October and December are the longest distance for me in my life. So I don't know how it's gonna be, but I will trust my training and I will follow my coach. Whatever he says, they're back at home. So I will keep focusing on my training and everything that comes on the way, we will accept it. And also, as I said there earlier, I have another races in coming weekends. I have track and field event that will be. I will be tackling the 1500, 5000, and 10,000 meters in the track. So I just wish myself all the best. Yep.
Earlier today at the post-race presser, you mentioned that you are a busy lady, and with the calendar that you've tabled, I can attest to that. Are you still studying? What are you studying? Adding to your busy schedule already?
Sorry?
I'm saying, are you studying? What are you studying? And that's adding to your busy schedule already.
Yeah, actually, I'm still doing my online classes. That is computer packages and also other things. So, and also I'm watching again and I'm training. So when you see you combine these three things, it's like your head is going to burst. So there is a lot of pressure, but we don't allow those excuses to come on our ways. So the best thing that we do is just like to give each and everything its own time so we can focus with this first one and then we come back to this one and then we will finish with this one. So doing online classes, it has been good, and also working with Tattoo City, it has been good too. They are my sponsors and it is a company which got a lot of things inside there. So when you come in Kenya, please just visit Tattoo City and explore the everything there. It's quite good. Yeah.
Frida Ndinda, back-to-back champion of the Hollywood Bets Joburg 10-kilometer race, came third at the recently concluded Durban 10-kilometer edition that took place on the 30th of August. Currently at the OR Tambo International Airport, heading back to East Africa in Nairobi, Kenya. Frida, congratulations once more. Happy Heritage Month and fly safely.
Thank you so much.
14:58 Central African Time. That's how we wrap up our review session of the events that took place earlier today. The Hollywood Bets Joburg 10-kilometer race triumphed by Frida Ndinda with 35:17, and of course Tabang Musiako in the male category with 29:44. Super exciting indeed. We will be welcoming in the second hour Natalie Saladino, that is the mother of our Bundle of Joy in Sport. Our Bundle of Joy in Sport is Matteo Saladino, and he is a go-kart racer, and the mother is also a motorsport driver. So we're going to have like mother, like son conversation on this exciting Heritage Day, Heritage Month celebration, where we will be talking all things motorsport as we say goodbye to the first hour. And there's more exciting things that you can expect on the show. We will be talking about the topic of the day, where we're asking about why should big companies shy away from sponsoring different sporting codes when it comes to making certain that these sporting codes, they triumph and they elevate it to another level. You can share your thoughts on our WhatsApp voice number. That is +27 63 406 9126. 14:59 Central African Time. Bundle of Joy conversation coming up shortly. 15:01 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, this is Africa at Play. As Delili Siashaya, a warm welcome to the second hour of Africa at Play, as we welcome to the conversation Matteo Saladino, who is our bundle of joy in sport. He is into motorsport as a driver. He started his career at the tender age at the end of 2021, in four-stroke racing. In 2023, finished third in the Pro Kart Triple S Championship in his class. Then in 2024, he finished second, one better from 2023 in Pro Kart 777 Championship in his class. And in 2025, rookie year in Rotax two-stroke racing, currently lying 10th in Northern Regions Championship, and most recently finished in the top 10 with mechanical difficulties in the RMC African Open hosted in South Africa this past July. And he's got exciting hobbies that includes swimming, mountain biking, airsoft, hiking, squash and chess. You see, when you are still young, you can do multiple activities and still have time to yourself. And we also have the mother present, that is Natalie Saladino, like mother, like son. And Natalie Saladino is also a motorsport driver, and it's going to be interesting to find out who started first between the two of them, because sometimes the mother could just be inspired by the son or the other way around. Matteo, good afternoon and welcome to Africa at Play.
Happy to be here, thank you.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Exciting indeed. This is our bundle of joy in sport, Matteo Saladino.
Channel Africa's Africa at Play is a bundle of joy in sports with Neto Chemane.
15:03 Central African Time. We've got Matteo Saladino, a go-kart driver, with us in studio, together with his mother, Natalie Saladino. Natalie, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Lovely to see you again, Neto.
Thank you so much for joining us. Who started racing first between you and your son, Matteo?
Well, fortunately, Matteo started racing ahead of me because the opportunity presented for him. We gave him the opportunity to test a rental kart at our local track, and he took to it like a duck to water. Absolutely loved every minute of it.
Interesting. So it's safe to say you were inspired by him?
I've been around motorsport for many years, and the fact that both my children have taken to it the way that they had, yes, it has inspired me to pursue my passion for motorsport. And I thought that I would enjoy it from the sidelines, watching them find their way on the track and enjoy that type of sport. And needless to say, I found myself behind the steering wheel as well.
Exciting times. Matteo, how do you feel knowing that you've sort of inspired your mother to do the right thing and join motorsport like you?
I feel very happy that she was inspired by me, and it makes me feel very special inside, you know? Yeah.
Interesting indeed. Happy Heritage Month.
Thank you, and the same to you.
Thank you so much. Matteo, what inspired you to get into motorsport?
What inspired me is that, of course, we came out of COVID and we just decided we're going to go and have some fun. We went to our local track at FK in Benoni, and then once I actually came off of that session, I realised something, and I went to Mom and Dad and I said, I think I found my sport.
And what did they say?
And they said,
here comes trouble.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Is it because you've got to go break the bank?
Well, that was it. Then the task came about where we had to source the right equipment, do our research to make sure we were signing him up for the right class, the right events, the right series. And yeah, we kind of just went head on and got going.
When last did you participate in a motorsport event, and how did it go?
My first motorsport event was in a class called the F400s. It took place at Swakorps, and it was pretty well. It was our first time. We weren't coming top 5, but we still had lots of fun, getting our feet, getting some experience, and yeah, it was very fun.
Are there any motorsport drivers your age that keeps you going, that when you think of you think, you know what, I've got to keep going to be the best?
I think so. There's a lot of serious competition in the Rotax series. We've got some phenomenal drivers that are dominating locally, but also flying the South African flag high on international soil. So the class that he's in is highly competitive, and I think that as long as you're progressing as an individual, setting your personal bests, I think that it's just development every time you go out on that track. And he's got as I say, a phenomenal grid of talented drivers to challenge him.
And you are also into motorsport under the Super V Racing Women in Sport category. How's it going there?
It's going phenomenally. We launched on the 10th of July to a massive support system. We joined the existing series that had a couple of ladies, but also predominantly men. And the men have been so supportive. They've brought us into this fold and given us the platform to shine as women in motorsport. We did our first official motorsport race on the 12th of July with great results, and some of our drivers ended up going to PE, I think it was in August, again flying that flag high for the ladies and women in motorsport, and specifically Super V. And the next race will be coming up in September at Red Star. So we keep on using this platform to elevate awareness around women in motorsport and encourage other women to come and give it a go.
Voice of Natalie Saladino, the mother to our bundle of joy in sport, Matteo Saladino, and they're both involved in motorsport, like mother, like son. Interesting times indeed. 15:08 Central African time. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. We will be taking a short break soon, but before we do that, let's find out from Matteo if he got to witness the mother doing her thing inside the car. Have you witnessed your mother doing her thing?
Yeah, I've been to like all of the races, and it's very nerve-wracking from the sidelines. I'm personally never on the sidelines because I'm always on the track. But yeah, once I actually watch a race, I actually realize how fast it is and how actually like nerve-wracking and like nervous and how it actually is. And yeah, she's pretty well actually.
Do you love your mother's work behind the wheel?
Yeah, she drives very well. And between you and me, I think she got skills from me.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. I like that. 15:09 Central African time. It's time for a short break. We are back with this thrilling conversation of motorsport between like mother, like son, Natalie Saladino, together with Matteo Saladino. And Matteo says the mother is always inspired by his vibe.
Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Wewe ni mjasiriamali unajihusisha na biashara ya kuuza dawa. Jaribu kutuambia kwanza, kwa nini ulianzisha biashara hiyo?
Tutasema kwamba maisha ya kila siku ni kwamba mtu anapaswa kuwa na maisha ya kuweza kujitegemea. Usitegemee kuajiriwa, lakini utegemee kujiajiri, na baadaye utaweza ukaajiri wengine. Na hiyo ilinipa msukumo mkubwa kwa kuweza kujiajiri na kampuni hii kwa ajili ya kuweza kuwasaidia wale ambao wanahangaika zaidi.
Unauza aina gani ya dawa?
Unasema ni dawa, lakini kwetu sisi tunaita kama vile ni pipi, ambayo ni virutubisho ambavyo vinakwenda kusaidia kwa wale ambao wanatatizwa na aina tofauti ya magonjwa.
Virutubisho hivyo sasa vinatibu magonjwa gani?
Virutubisho hivi vinatunza magonjwa kama vile ya kisukari, shinikizo la damu.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
We are on OpenView's audio bouquet. Channel 628.
15:11 Central African time. This is Africa at Play, live on DSTV Audio Bouquet Channel 802 or OpenView 628 if you are in South Africa. Alternatively, worry not, you can reach us from any corner of the world on channelafrica.co.za, also streaming on YouTube, and you can also reach us on SABC Plus at your fingertips. The conversation continues under Motorsport, where we've got Natalie Saladino, the mother to our bundle of joy in sport, Matteo Saladino. And Matteo is the champion of the moment because he inspires the mother. So you go into Benoni end of the month for the race end of this month. How's the preparations?
We're doing pretty well. We going to the track regularly, practicing, and just getting our feet, getting some more experience, seeing how the cart's handling, seeing how the grip is going to be, and yeah, just preparing like that.
So if I come on the day to cheer, I'm coming to cheer at the champion. You're winning the gold, right?
Yes.
And how are you going to do that?
We're gonna do that with pure grit.
Wow, interesting indeed. And talk to us about the team that works with you, because it's not just about you as a driver in motorsport. There are those people that plays an important role behind the scenes. Who are these people?
Well, I have my coach. His name is Coach Seb Lanzetti Racing. He's always helping me make the kart, lubing my chain, changing tire pressures and all that stuff that really helps behind the scenes. And also my dad. He also helps a lot with also preparing the kart. And second, but certainly not least, my sister, who's always cheering me on all the time.
Interesting indeed. And you've got hobbies that includes the likes of chess, swimming. Talk to us more about your hobbies.
Well, I've always enjoyed swimming at a very young age. And I just always enjoyed the water. And me personally, I like chess because it gives you a strategize, using tactics, and makes you really think ahead. And I enjoy it, and that's why I enjoy chess.
Interesting indeed. And are you good at it?
I say I'm very good. I'm second in my chess team, and pretty well.
When last did you have a good swim?
The last time I had a good swim was probably yesterday when I jumped into the pool because it was boiling.
It was boiling and you had a good time. What does swimming help you with? Because a lot of athletes, it could be someone who is a runner, but when they want to take a break from running, they would enjoy going into the water. It could be a cricketer, it could be a football player, it could be any athlete, but they would use swimming for a different cause that adds fuel on fire in terms of helping them relax, but also keeping them fit, because it's not just about being in the water. There's work that you need to do while in there.
100%. I agree with you, Neto. We use the swimming to help the kids build their core strength and also to help them with their endurance. The karting is a very taxing sport because obviously your body is in quite a tense position every time you go down the straight, take the corner, hit the apex, plan and overtake. You've got to have that strength to actually carry through with that speed. So the swimming is a fantastic therapeutic outlet to just let yourself switch off a bit, but doing those laps, lap after lap, helps with that endurance training.
Who are your friends, Mateo?
My friends, well, at the go-karting community is very close. I have quite a few friends. We are friends with one Breitenbach. Yeah.
Declan Jurgens. Little Diego Anuns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple of friends around the karting. It's very touch and go because your best friends are with you off the track, and then the minute that helmet comes on and the motors start, they become your direct competition. So there's a big balancing, juggling act when it comes to maintaining the friends around the track. But he's also got some great support from friends from school that just want to see him do well. So they also big cheerleaders for him in that regard.
Interesting indeed. Your mother is talking about school. What grade are you in? What school do you go to?
I'm in grade 6 and I go to a school just up the road. It's a very nice school, and my favorite subject at that school is history.
History?
Yes.
What do you like so much about history?
Why I love history so much is the most history that I actually like is the Second World War and around that era where you got the industrial age and all that stuff. And I find it very interesting on the new tactics being used, such as why I also enjoy the chess. And I find it also very interesting about the new machinery and new inventions that came on the way, and I just really enjoy learning about that stuff.
Interesting indeed. And do you have a favorite teacher by any chance?
A favorite teacher?
Yeah.
Choose the one that's hardest on you with marks.
Still thinking about it.
Yeah. I think
Natural
most
sciences.
most of my teachers are my favorites. Yeah, except the one. I'm not gonna pull any names.
It's good when most of the teachers are your favorites, because then it means you will do well in their subjects that they are teaching, versus if you just have one favorite teacher and you sort of dislike the rest, then you might just battle with those subjects. So big ups on that one. Just work on that relationship with the one that still needs to be worked on, right?
Yeah, I think my favorite teacher is Miss Smith.
Yeah.
There you have it. Miss
Yeah.
Smith, the big ups for being a good teacher. Earlier on, you spoke about the support that your father gives you. What kind of a father is he?
He is a very supportive father, and he actually really understands what actually goes into the racing and all that stuff, and he just really helps me, especially with just strategizing on what to do on the next heat, and he just really helps, and I feel much better after talking to him about what to do.
And talking to him, when it's just the two of you and it's the gents club and your mother is not there, what else do you get to talk about?
If we're not talking about the go-karting, then we're probably talking about the next tactics on how we're going to beat the Oaks at the airsoft. Yeah, my dad's very good at that stuff.
Interesting indeed. That's Matteo Saladino, who's talking to us about the support that he gets from the father. Of course, he also gets support from the mother, who is here with him, and the mother is Natalie Saladino. If your father is listening to this conversation, what would you like to say to him?
I'd like to say thank you so much for all of your support and all of your help through my whole racing career and all my life. Thank you.
When you address him, what do you call him? Do you say Pa? Do you say Dad? What do you say?
I call him Pops, I call him Daddy, I call him Papa, I call him a lot of things.
Interesting. So it depends on the mood.
Yeah, depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
No, thank you.
How are you doing?
No, not too bad, thanks.
Hey, your big boy says all the nice things about him. How much did you pay him?
Yeah, no, the check's in the mail, eh?
How did you know?
He's asking, how did we know? How did we get you on air? So this is Africa at Play. That's how we roll. So your father is on the line. What would you like to say to dear Daddy?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, my boy.
What you doing?
I'm just seeing your sister.
Sounds fun.
Exciting indeed. Daddy, tell us more about Matteo. What kind of a son is he?
No, he's awesome. We couldn't have asked for a better son. Diligent at schoolwork, sporty, committed, a real go-getter. He's super proud.
Are you happy with his work as a go-kart driver?
Yeah, that's his mom's department. I'm just a mechanic. He tries to give me feedback. We've also got Sebastian that helps us out a lot. He's a superstar.
Let's talk a little bit about mechanics. What's likely to go wrong in a race setup that could have him disappointed that he didn't achieve the position he was eyeing because of mechanical blunders?
Sure, a lot could go wrong. If he's on his own on the track, not much goes wrong, but because he's competing with a whole lot of other kids, sometimes if a kid knocks him, bent axles, stub axles, chain could come off, anything could happen with an engine, gear cable sometimes snapping, brake failures. No, there's a whole lot. So we've got a list that we go through parts of the race, and just to see that the kart is race ready and that he's safe.
Incredible indeed. That's the father to our bundle of joy in sport, the father to Matteo Saladino. Madam, your husband is on the line. What would you like to say to him before we say goodbye to him?
Well, on behalf of Matteo and myself, we always just appreciate your level-headedness in times where it can be emotional, especially as a mom. So I appreciate that you pick up the things that I put down and that we get to do it as a family and as a team. So thank you, George, my love, for always being the backbone to this family. So we appreciate you.
Pleasure. Love you all.
There you have it, George. You are appreciated and you are loved. Happy Heritage Month. I hope you will be buying some meat for our special guest on the 24th of September because it's Heritage Day.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for making it so special for Matteo. He didn't see this surprise coming. Have a good afternoon further.
Thank you, and goodbye to all your listeners. Thank you. Bye-bye.
15:21 Central African Time. That's how we say goodbye to Mr. George Saladino. That is the father to Matteo Saladino. And of course, the mother, Natalie Saladino, is also on board. Well, we'll find out after this short break, how does Matteo feel with that surprise.
Channel Africa, we think differently. The African perspective. Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools, at workplaces, and too often in silence. But it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out. Because doing nothing is not an option. Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday 23rd of July for Hard Talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GBV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence. For all your favorite SABC radio stations, call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GBV, it ends with you. This message is brought to you by the SABC. Where champions rise, legends are made. Join Neto Chemane on Africa at Play, only on Channel Africa.
15:23 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a warm welcome to number one sport show on the African continent, Africa at Play, as Delili Siashaya. We're wrapping up a conversation with the motorsport enthusiasts like mother, like son, that is Natalie Saladino, together with her son, that is Matteo Saladino. How do you feel with that surprise of hearing Dear Daddy all of a sudden on air?
I was very surprised and it was very unexpected. But I was very happy to hear from him. You know, he's my best friend and he means a lot to me.
And he's doing the most. I mean, worrying about the mechanical part of your journey as a go-kart driver. It is something to cherish. It is something to celebrate because, you know, other sons out there are not blessed with the same support as you.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have my dad. I'm very lucky to have a father like that.
Interesting indeed. And Madam, your husband was on the line. I was hoping to hear you saying I love you.
He knows he's loved. But yeah, we very fortunate that we get to do this as a family. As George said, he's right now looking after our little girl who is also involved in motorsport. She also go-karts. So we are very much a family unit. You know, when we're not at race days, we're at practices together. I've been on the tools and I've lifted the cart and I've got my hands dirty because we do it for our kids. We do it for the children. So it's very much a labor of love, and we appreciate that we get to do this as a family.
As we wrap up this conversation, what's still coming up for the rest of the year?
Well, we've got the balance of the racing calendar that we still need to see to. We're hoping to progress up the positions board and come away with a good rookie year outcome. His little sister's leading her championship at the moment, so we're just persevering to try and keep that top step for her. And yeah, we're just using this year for Matteo to get a better understanding of the ins and outs of Rotax Junior Max, because it is his rookie year. There's been a lot of lessons learned for us, and we're hoping to carry that new knowledge and new experience into the 2026 year better for it. We are fortunate that we've got some amazing sponsors partnering us with the motorsport, and it affords us the opportunity to go racing. So hopefully they will be signing on for 2026 with us and seeing a fantastic return of investment getting behind Saladino Racing, and just enjoying life and having fun and enjoying what we're doing.
Your goodbye comment?
Sorry?
Your final word?
My final word, happy Heritage Month to everyone. Embrace your heritage, wear it proudly, and we are proud South Africans, and we fly that South African flag as high as we can, so we encourage everyone to do the same.
Matteo, let's also wrap up with you as the champion of the moment. What can you tell us about interesting things so that you get to do that our listeners don't know about?
Other interesting things that I get to do is other than my long list of hobbies such as the mountain biking, the airsoft, the chess, the swimming, I really now and then we're always going to the track. If it's not Benoni, then it's Vereniging, and when it's not Vereniging, it's Swartkops. And nearly every 2 weeks we're going there, and that's how you actually get better, more experienced and stuff like that, and that's actually how you actually go up the ranks.
Do you have an elite motorsport driver that you look up to?
Yes.
And who is he?
Leclerc.
Oh, wow. And why him?
Because he's a really nice guy, and I actually really like him. And he also drives for Ferrari, which from me being Italian, I naturally support because being such an Italian brand of car. And yeah.
Do you speak some Italian?
No.
You don't? you don't even know basics like
buongiorno.
bellissimo?
Buongiorno.
What does that mean?
Hello.
Hello.
Ciao.
Ciao. I know ciao.
Yeah, it's not food, it's bye.
Yeah. And what about bellissimo?
Ah, yes. Bellissimo.
Oh, it's the chocolate.
But it also means beautiful.
Beautiful. That's the masculine, beautiful, and then bellissima.
Bellissima.
Oh, you know you're Italian.
So Portuguese and Italian are similar. There's feminine and masculine.
Yes, and actually Spanish as well.
Yeah.
His dad can speak Spanish and Italian because it lends itself to both languages.
Wow, fantastico. Matteo, thank you so much for pulling through to Africa at Play. All the best. Please be well behaved and show all the respect to your parents and everyone in your surroundings.
Thank you, Neto.
Thank you for having me.
15:28 Central African Time. That's how we wrap up our incredible motorsport conversation, like mother, like son, and Natalie Saladino together with Matteo Saladino. And we also got to surprise our bundle of joy in sport with his father's voice, who also looks after his mechanics. This is Africa at Play as Delil Siashaya.
You heard something you like on Channel Africa and you would like to hear it again. Worry not, we've got your back. Just go to our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, and look for our podcast.
I told you, man. It's King Tick Pandemics.
Chimani pass a peace of mind. She got a man, but he had no mind. The pass a love, baby, don't be stingy. The way ni phone now, can't you see? Baby, baby. Osani si yana silonga we. Baby, baby. Osani panga chipuba Superman. Nini na power monga Superman. I'm gonna protect you monga Superman. Nina olimba monga Superman. Give you what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader. You what she touch it, deliver. Give you what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader. Deliver.
Chocolate, a big baller. My lady's coming to want more. She love the way I put it down, but even more, she love my aura. Shake like thunder, beat like drama. This right here is a la casa. Somebody please call emergency. The way the girl is hurting me, yeah. I like her, she a freak. My wife, she a keeper. No one like her, she a sniper. My type of ghetto diva. I like her, she a freak. My wife, she a keeper. No one like her, she a sniper. My type of ghetto diva. Superman. Shawty say you want a Superman. Baby, you know you a superwoman. So you and I could be the super friends. Baby, I'm a lover, baby, I'm a pleaser. Give it to you hard, never will I tease you. Eat it like salad, call that a season. So when I'm in Rome, you should follow the leader. Give me what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader. You a cheat and check, deliver. Give me what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar. leader, baby, I'm the leader.
Superman, nini na power monga Superman. I'm gonna protect you monga Superman. Nina olimba monga Superman. Eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh, ah, eh,
on Channel Africa? Then follow us on our socials. Channel Africa 1 on all social pages. And get the African perspective.
.35 Central African Time. That was a back-to-back musical play by Superman featuring Omarion. The first song we played you by Your Maps, and the one that's just ended, it's Venus featuring Serotonin Faceless. This is Africa at Play. Let's now go to Lusaka, Zambia, and find out from Namuchana, our correspondent based in Lusaka, about our topic of the day. You can drop us your thoughts on our WhatsApp our WhatsApp number, which is +27 63 406 9126. We're talking about big companies and why they shy away from coming on board and supporting different sporting federations, different clubs and national teams to ensure that sport on the African continent makes it to the highest possible level. That number again is +27 63 406 9126. Let's go to Lusaka.
Football sponsorship builds brand awareness. A brand can leverage marketing benefits from a football team. These sponsorship opportunities are highly visible, offering exposure to millions of consumers. We're asking what is making most companies operating in Africa to shun away from associating themselves with football through sponsorship and advertising. This is our topic today, and I have with me Wezi Mazunda, sports analyst. Wezi, thank you so much for having taken time to talk to us. Wezi, we're asking what is making most companies that are operating in Africa to shun away from associating themselves with football through sponsorship and advertising. What are your views?
I believe it's trust, lack of professionalism, accountability, and responsibility. I believe that's what it is, because people have talked. The need is there. There's need to just work well for posterity, because when you invest in something, you invest in it because you want posterity to judge you right at the end of time. It's just the right thing. So I think some companies, what has happened is maybe they've invested in some project, some venture in sport, and then there's been no accountability. There's been mismanagement of funds. The intended goal at the end of the day is not met. There's just confusion. Some people are just liars. Others are just corrupt. That is what I want to think. That is what I want to believe, which is sad. It's a very sad picture. Some people are just selfish. Some people are just greedy. Sad situation, but out there it does happen. That is what I want to believe, because like I've said, it's about posterity. It's about the future. If you can have this vision that you have of seeing a lot of your young people, because look at the world today, it's filled with the youths. The youths are there. They're hungry. They want to work. They're the strength of every other nation. I think they dominate the world population, and you want to invest in them. Like, this is Africa we're talking about. You need to invest in your youth. If you have a good heart and you want to see it come to life, to see that vision come to life, I think as a sponsor, I believe you would be a proud person to hear the numbers. You sit down with the sponsor, you see the fruits, what you've put in, your money, your hard-earned money that you've put in as a company, seeing them, the fruits being born, especially in these young people. You see 3 generations of success. You start out a project, invest in the youth, obviously. You start these youthful projects, and then you're seeing these youth winning major things, competitions at multiple sports code events, Olympics, Commonwealth Games, or Africa Games. You're seeing these athletes who continues to do so well, and now you're telling yourself, okay, these are the brands that we've brought out. This is what we've put in. But it's so hard to see a lot of these things happening, mismanagement, stories, scandals, everything being hidden, not so much coming out. So I think they get hurt. Money is not easy to come by now. I like to talk about the harsh economic times, a lot of competing factors when it comes to where you put your finances, how you get to utilize them. So it's really hard. Sometimes I don't really blame these sponsors. It's really, really hard. It's not easy. Here it's football. That's what we're looking at. So football today can really grow. I think if you can have something to point out to as a sponsor, I think you'd be really proud. Those are the models that sponsors really want to see in football today. They want to see a success of long term. You want to see a success that's going to stretch up to 30 years. And when you're signing a contract of another 30 years, at least you will have impacted the lives of millions in 3 generations, which is very good. And that will bring development, that will bring money, not only profits to the company, but then it's also going to profit communities, it's going to profit families. It's just going to be good. And at the end of the day, posterity, it's about posterity and how they're going to judge us at the end of time, right or wrong.
Wezi, thank you very much for having taken time to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
So we also got the views of Chanda Rosha, former Zambia national soccer team player.
We are talking about companies shunning away, sponsoring teams. Companies have got a structures where they have their own budgets, they have their own things to do. Very unfortunate, like nowadays, only few companies are coming on board to start sponsoring a club. Again, they look at the both sides of the coin. That is the head and the tail. Is there any advantage in sponsoring a club, or is there flaws or disadvantages in so doing? If the club is reaping good money at the end of the season, that would be good. If the club is participating in various competitions, that would be good for the company. But if it doesn't do that, then the company will run at a loss. This is why you've seen a lot of companies not coming on board, because of the same issues which are taking place. You talk of a team, it's supposed to be selling players. Once players are sold, yes, the company will benefit as well. But nowadays, what is happening? Clubs are being pumped in, but there is no output. Performance goes down suddenly, and the company will run at a loss. So I think this is the main cause of, these companies staying away from sponsoring these clubs, more especially here in Africa. Here, money is quite scarce to be found. You are lucky if you can find 1 or 2 companies start sponsoring your team. So this is how, these companies operate. At the end of the year, they need to make an account and see whether they've made a profit or or they are running at a loss because they've got workers to pay as well. You know how it is to run a company. You've got workers, different operations. So you look at, at a team which is not doing anything, which is not bringing any income to the company. Why sponsor it? So we believe way forward, companies come on board and, start sponsoring clubs, in order for individuals to better their lives, just to live a good life. It's all about money. When a company comes on board and starts sponsoring a club, it's all about money. If you don't have money, you can't do that because there are companies who have signed, contracts with clubs, let's say 5 years, and just along the way, it becomes bankrupt. What happens to the club? The club suffers. You start going, visiting the court now and then. So there are so many things, there's so many factors which are happening why these companies are not coming on board to start sponsoring this club. My hope and trust is that more companies get involved into sports, break away the barrier of poverty, so to speak, because others are employed. That's why they get their bread and butter. Once they get paid, they do one or two things. But it's all about, are you investing at the right time, or are you putting the money in the right soil so that it starts germinating at the end of the day, so that the company goes forward and the club keeps, souring high. So it's a two-way thing. But my hope and trust once again is that, let companies come on board and try to help out in sponsoring clubs.
The views of Chanda Lusha, former Zambia national soccer team player. Today we were looking at the football sponsorship that builds the brand awareness. We know that a brand can leverage marketing benefits from a football team. These sponsorship opportunities are highly visible, offering exposure to millions of consumers. We were asking what is making most companies operating in Africa to shun away from associating themselves with football through sponsorship and advertising. We had Wezi Mazunda, sports analyst, former Zambia national soccer team player Chanda Lusha for Channel Africa Sports. Namchana from Zambia.
15:42 Central African Time, and Namuchana leading the conversation on our topic of the day. We've got some voice notes that we will be playing after the short break.
Africa, meet Abedi.
Yeah, that's me.
Abedi is a music lover through and through.
I really love African music.
He's got a taste for all kinds of tunes and spends his days listening to Channel Africa. Guess what? He didn't know.
Okay.
Channel Africa wants to help Abedi and all music lovers everywhere to discover even more incredible music. That is why Channel Africa is calling on all African musicians to submit their music. Musicians, remember to give us all your relevant information. Make your submissions at music@channelafrica.co.za. Submissions are your chance to be heard on radio. But sadly, they do not guarantee that you will be playlisted. All submissions will be carefully reviewed to see if they meet our station's requirement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Africa at Play with Neto and Neto Chemane.
15:44 Central African Time. You are still tuned in to the number one sports show on the African continent, Africa at Play. As Delelisia Shire, we are on Channel Africa from an African perspective, live on DSTV Audio Bouquet, Channel 802 or OpenView 628 if you are in South Africa. Otherwise, you can reach us or connect with us from anywhere you are on channelafrica.co.za. Also available at your fingertips on SABC+. To get in touch with us on our different social media platforms, please do so without hesitation. On Instagram and X is at Channel Africa 1, and on Facebook the name of our station, Channel Africa. Also streaming live on YouTube. We've got some voice notes. Let's take one from the principal of the airwaves, Eric Lechole.
Good afternoon, Africa at Play. I'm Eric Lechole from Midrand. Look, I think one of the major problems for sponsors to be hesitant in terms of supporting the African football, we have a couple of facts or factors that I can mention. Number one, economic challenges. Business in South Africa, for example, face high unemployment rates, frequent power outages, unreliable infrastructure, crime, corruption, and a rising cost of living, making it difficult to operate and grow. Number two, measuring return on investment. Assessing the return of investment of football sponsorships can be challenging, requiring clear objectives and metrics to evaluate effectiveness. Alignment of brand values. Companies need to ensure the values and target audience of the football team or entity align with their own brand identity for effective sponsorship activation. So benefits of football sponsorships in Africa. On the flip side, football sponsorship in Africa can empower communities. Partnership like QNet with the Confederation of African Football promote empowerment and transformation and growth, enhance brand visibility. Sponsorships offer targeted branding opportunities, connecting sponsors with passionate fans and local communities. Support development. Sponsorships can aid in the talent development, communities engagement, and promoting the sponsor at grassroots level. Nice show.
Thank you for the praise, Eric Letsoeleng, sharing his thoughts on our topic of the day. We've got another voice note from Tsogofatso Mosadi.
Good afternoon, Africa at Play listeners. What an absolute great show and a very great question, Putwami. You know, you're right. Football sponsorship is a very powerful tool for building brand awareness and leveraging marketing benefits. However, what makes most companies operating in Africa to shun away from associating themselves with football? It could be cost concerns. You know, sponsorship deals can be very, very expensive. So when they think about sponsoring, and it can be a problem. Another thing, return on investment. When you're measuring the ROI for sponsorship, it can be very challenging. The third thing is the competition. You know, popular football teams might have limited sponsorship tools due to competitions, so the slots availability can be very scarce. And lastly, I'm thinking brand alignment. You know, the companies might struggle to find teams that align with their values, their target audience, which affects their brand. You know, so that could be the reason. Other than that, the show is amazing. Interesting topic. Bona, I'm happy to be listening to such a great show. Asiteleli siyashaya. Thank you, Africa at Play.
Astelele Siashaya, we are happy when you are happy. That's Tsogofatso Mosadi sharing her thoughts on our topic of the day. Good insight indeed, together with Eric Letsoeleng. Let's take another voice note from Nande Jobatwana.
Well, when we talk about brands, we also need to understand who do brands want to associate themselves with. Now, when we look at African football, especially when we look at the PSL, we also need to look at how many teams have made it to the PSL and then been relegated. Now, I would also like to think when a brand is making an investment, it's thinking long-term investment. And then when a team gets relegated, it creates a level, a level of discomfort. You know, it creates that thing that this is not a winning brand. And I'd like to think most companies would want to associate themselves with a winning brand. That is why we find that big companies such as like your Vodacoms, your MTNs and stuff tend to stick to big brands. Then they will sponsor Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, big teams. Now we've seen teams in the PSL time and time again that will make it to number 2, number 3, number 2, number 3, number 2. Then there are those seasons where they just drop and then they disappear. We've seen teams that have become what I'd like to call one-hit wonders. Maybe we should say brands should start thinking of short-term goals. You know, you sponsor a team for a season, okay, for 2 seasons. You know, you make deals. We make those type of deals. You know, yeah.
15:50 Central African Time. Thank you to those that shares their voice notes with us. We still have one more voice note from Charles Cicero, a football development coach.
Good day, sports fans. Charles here from Naturina, South Africa. Thank you, NETL, for the opportunity. Thank you, Africa at Play. Yes, sponsorship is a very integral part of brand awareness, especially when it comes to sport and sporting events. I know major brands would like to, incorporate themselves with national teams where they get international exposure. And for the local brands, it's about getting out there to the masses So the local brands will normally go to the biggest clubs that are available in the sporting fraternities. And that is how they actually get their brand out there. And what we need to do as sports bodies, we need to leverage these major companies and, just make sure that they get the mileage that they want. And then, yes, Bob's your uncle. Enjoy a blessed Saturday, sports fans around the globe.
15:51 Central African Time. That's how we wrap up our conversation on our topic of the day, where we got to hear from the pundits in Zambia talking to Namuchana Wezi Mazunda, an award-winning journalist, zooming into our topic of the day, where we're asking why are brands shying away from investing in football in form of sponsorship and partnerships, and not just football but different sporting codes. And thanks to those that have shared their thoughts via WhatsApp voice notes. We take a short break. When we come back, All Things Africa at Play continues.
In this episode of Channel Africa Conversations, Peter talks to Dr. Tulisile Buddha, an academic, author, and an expert in indigenous knowledge systems. Join us for a compelling discussion on preserving African languages and traditions in the digital era. Dr. Tulisile unpacks the role of educators, explorers, and how technologies like AI can support cultural preservation, and challenges us to rethink how we honor African heritage. You can find the episode on YouTube, SABC Plus, and on our website, channelafrica.co.za. This episode is a must-listen for educators, creators, and change makers across the continent. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
Naquela roça grande não tem chuva, é o suor do meu rosto que rega as plantações. Naquela roça grande tem café maduro e aquele vermelho cereja são gotas do meu sangue feitas seiva. O café vai ser torrado, pisado, torturado, vai ficar negro, negro da cor do contratado, negro da cor do contratado. Perguntem às aves que cantam, aos recatos de alegre serpentear e ao vento forte do sertão. Quem se levanta cedo, quem vai à tonga, quem traz pela estrada longa a tipóia ou o cacho de dendém, quem capina e em paga recebe desdém. Foba podre, peixe podre, panos ruins, 50 angolares. Foba podre, peixe podre, panos ruins, 50 angolares. Porradas, serrafilares, porradas, serrafilares. Quem faz o milho crescer e os laranjais florescer, quem dá dinheiro para o patrão comprar.
You've got to enjoy being on the African continent. At times you do not even understand the language, but just the sound and the melody of the song tells you that we are one Africa. Monakambe, that is a song by Rui Mingas. 15:55 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. We now welcome to the conversation Neto Chemane, who is a footballer, 21-year-old, who used to be under Power Soccer School's academy under coach Marshall and currently under the mentorship of Aris Alberti at Soccer Dream International. That is the academy based in South Africa and Italy. Neto, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Afternoon, Mr. Alberti. Oh, sorry.
You're thinking of your mentor now.
Yeah, you know how he's always on my neck. So, yeah. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Neto. Afternoon to the viewers. I'm excited to be here and share my story. And yeah.
From the last time you were here, you were still under Power Soccer School's academy, and you've now moved on with life to Soccer Dream Academy International. Talk to us about your days at Power Soccer School Academy and what inspired the move from there to Soccer Dream Academy.
Okay, so I joined Power Soccer School in 2021, where we had like COVID, and so it was very hard for us to get there. You know, we had to play with masks, so we didn't enjoy the game as much, but it was a wonderful experience. Coach Martial was a very good coach, and I joined Soccer Dream in 2022, where now we don't have COVID. You know, we move freely, we enjoy the game. And why did I change from Power Soccer School to Soccer Dream? Because I'm a person who, from a very young age, I've been wanting to like get into a space where I'll be in a place where like I'll get to showcase my talent even overseas. So Soccer Dream gave me that, and hence my transition to Soccer Dream.
You are currently 21. Are you worried that time is flying and you still haven't gotten a professional contract?
I mean, yes, in South Africa, I mean, in overseas, yes, 21 is, yeah, I'm a bit worried, but I just have this flame inside of me that keeps on telling me to keep going, you know, and never give up.
With Soccer Dream Academy International, there's also those opportunities of going abroad, especially to Italy, because of the founder of the academy, Aris Alberti, coming from Italy, but also having broadened up the academy to the international level, with the academy also happening in Italy, which then gives it an Africa-Europe kind of a flavor. Your thoughts on, you know, opportunities of going abroad and trying out through trials that side?
Pardon, my?
Your thoughts on opportunities to go abroad and to go give it a shot in Italy?
I mean, what Soccer Dream is doing is very great. I mean, I've gotten an offer. They offered me to travel to Italy in Jan, and I think that they should continue doing that because it keeps us pushing as players, you know, that some of us, we don't see ourselves playing in like our teams in our countries. We want to go, because the level in overseas, the overseas level is very high. So we want to be there, we want to compete, we want to go there. So shout out to Soccer Dream for doing that. And yeah.
And talking about the level in Europe being high, the destination to Italy will therefore need you to give even more. Are you aware of what is expected of you, since you've highlighted that the demand is high?
Yes, I'm very well aware. I train almost every day, every single day. I make sure to keep fit. I eat well. I follow my mentor's orders, you know, all of that. I just need to make sure that I keep focus and discipline.
If you have just joined us, we are talking to Neto Chemane, who is a 21-year-old footballer in South Africa, who is registered under Soccer Dream Academy International, an academy based in both South Africa and Italy, with the founder originally from Italy, Aris Alberti. 1600 Central African Time, we are officially entering into the third and final hour of Africa at Play, where we are wrapping up with the final hour, and the conversation with Neto Chemane continues shortly.
We are on OpenView's audio bouquet. Channel 628.
16:01 Central African Time. You are still tuned in to Africa at Play. We are in the third and final hour of Africa at Play. We've got Neto Chemane, who is a central defender, and he can play in different positions. He understands the importance of diversity when it comes to playing in different positions on the field of play, to avoid a scenario where you specialize in one position, and when you are moved to a different position, then it's lights off. You struggle to cope in that position. Neto, thank you for staying on with us. Let's talk about diversity in football. How important is it as a player to be able to play in multiple positions?
It is very much important because, in certain games, there's very hard situations that your coach will have to shift you. Like me, I play defensively, but depending on the situation of the game, my coach tends to push me upwards, maybe a attacking mid, just to add a number, then behind me comes a centre back and plays just right behind me. So it is important for a player to be able to play different positions.
Do you like dribbling?
I mean, yeah, I do like dribbling. I do.
And what do the coaches say when they see you dribble, or they don't have issues provided you don't lose possession?
Okay, actually they do in my position. I shouldn't do it too much. Do it, but do it moving forward, progress. Don't dribble and be retreat backwards or stay at the same place. No, you can't do that. Just dribble and move forward.
When last did you play a match and how did it go?
I last played a match in Pretoria with my rest team, Sentinel FC. We won 4-3, managed to get 2 assists and a goal for myself. And yeah, it was a wonderful game. We played against RS at UP.
And talking about RS, what are you currently studying?
I'm doing a technical theatre at Pretoria Arts Campus.
What's still lined up in terms of the football calendar? Which league are you playing under for the Soccer Dream Academy?
Okay, it is the LFA in Randbeck. Yeah.
Neto Chemane playing in the local football association LFA in Randbeck under Soccer Dream Academy. So do you play for the under 21 or which division do you play for?
I still play for under 21s and the senior team.
The senior team.
Yes.
So eventually, when this year dies a natural death, you will just be with the senior team, because then you'll be turning 22 next year. 16:03 Central African Time. Neto Chemane, a footballer who's got plans to play abroad. If you make it to Italy, which team would you like to play for?
I'd say I'd put myself in Juventus.
Juventus. Why Juventus?
I mean, likes of Cristiano Ronaldo have played there. Paulo Dybala. I'd love to be in the same locker room as them. I'd love to, enjoy that feeling, to be in that atmosphere, and yeah.
And if it's not Italy, where would you like to play?
England.
England. Why? For which team?
Manchester City.
Manchester City, the Citizens.
The Citizens.
Actually, they were playing a match. They've got a match lined up today, but I'm thinking that match is still coming up. We will check up on those fixtures. Perhaps you can help us with the prediction of what's likely to happen in the Manchester derby. Or that match could be happening. Yeah, it's happening this weekend, but we will go through the fixtures in no time. If you play for Manchester City, what position do you think you'll play in?
Central midfield.
Central midfield.
Yes, central midfield.
That's where you are comfortable.
Yes.
What do you like so much about playing in the center?
A center man, I'm a person who loves to lead. I'm a person who likes to feed. As in Mangti feed, I talk about assista. I talk about going back and over, Centrally, it's like you play almost all the positions in the field. Going back, receiving the ball, utene, and moving forward, That's what I love about the center. You are in control. You are the heart of the team. So I love that.
The heart of the team. Manchester City, the team that you will be playing for in future, will be taking on Manchester United in the Manchester derby tomorrow at 17:30 Central African Time. What can we expect from that match? Who's taking it?
Manchester City, of course.
Oh, yeah?
Why? Oh, Esahan, my player is injured. Ryan Cherky, who just recently joined, number 10. Oh, wonderful. But yeah, Manchester City, why? Because I think Manchester United recently isn't back on their feet like that. And yeah, man, Manchester Derby, we tend to overpower them, Manchester Derbies, in terms of possession and nani. But now we have Haaland, lapha phambili, and I'm firm ukuthi uzoma laphana and score goals for us.
If you're a fan of the Premier League, Arsenal, the Gunners of London, have triumphed by 3-0 against Nottingham Forest, the Tricky Trees. AFC Bournemouth is up against Brighton. That match kicked off at 4 p.m. Central African time. It's still 0-0. Newcastle is up against Wolverhampton Wanderers, also known as Wolves, and as it stands, it's 0-0. Everton is up against Aston Villa, also 0-0. No goals as yet. Crystal Palace and Sunderland also 0-0 after 6 minutes of football has been played. Fulham up against Leeds United. It's still early minutes of the matches. They still haven't produced any goal. Later today it will be West Ham United up against Tottenham Hotspur at 18:30, while Brentford take on Chelsea the Blues at 2100 Central African time. We've got Neto Chemane, who would like to play for Juventus in Italy and would like to play for Manchester City in the English Premier League, or Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa. What do you like so much about Mamelodi Sundowns, Kabuyelo?
I love their style of play. If you have a look of the way they play and Manchester City, it's a similar style of play. The way they keep possession, the way they transition, the way they, I just love everything about them. And of course, recently, they've been lacking kancane nje, but they will find their feet back.
If you get an opportunity to go trial in Europe, in Italy to be precise, is the responsibility of raising those funds on you, or how does it work?
Yeah, it is on me. In fact, I have a campaign going on right now on Backup Buddy. It's called Help Lindo Get to Italy. So I've been approaching sponsors to get a bit of cash, to get to Italy. And yeah, it has been really tough, I don't want to lie. Hence, I opted to go to Backup Buddy and start the campaign. But yeah, Yona, it's I think I'm on 6%, 7% now, 2-point-something thousand, and yeah, that's.
So you've got to keep pushing, because if you could get to over 2,000 rands, it means you can get to over 20,000 rands.
Yes, of course. That's the motivation I've been getting with Arno. Okay, actually, people do care about this, so I'll keep on posting. I'll keep on working hard, and yeah.
If there's a good Samaritan listening to this conversation, or even the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, a man who can make things happen for you to go on that trip to Italy, what would you like to say?
I would love to say that please help me out. I'm a young football player from Alexandra. All my life, I've been chasing football from as young as I can remember. I love the sport. I am dedicated. I am hardworking, and I will not disappoint. And I'm a person who remembers my background. So even if I were to go to Italy, I would 100% sure come back and give back to my country, hometown.
Neto Chemane, with plans to go to Italy and try football out in terms of trials, and if all goes well, he would like to play for Juventus, and if not Juventus, he would like to go play for his favorite team in the Premier League, Manchester City, the Citizens, alternatively Mamelodi Sundowns in the Betway Premiership in South Africa. Neto, before I let you go, what would you like to say to your teammates, to the potential clubs that you could possibly play for one day?
Okay, to my teammates, gents, thank you so much for everything. Number one, the hard days where we've been training, the matches that where we had to sacrifice and all of that. Let's keep pushing, let's keep fighting, let's not give up. We will get there. And to potential teams, I only have 3 words: I am coming.
I like it. Thank you so much for pulling through to Africa at Play. All the best. Never give up. Remember, life is about 2 rules. Rule number 1, never give up. Rule number 2, always remember rule number 1.
Yes.
16:10 Central African Time. That's how we wrap up our conversation with Neto Chemane, all the way from Alexandra Township, heading to Italy for trials. He would like to play for Juventus, Manchester City, and Mamelodi Sundowns. And we say, not even the sky is the limit. The mind is the limit. If you tell your mind that things are possible, believe you me, you will achieve greater than you thought. We take a short break. When we come back, we head into East Africa, in where we will be hearing from Sam Mpoza, who's bringing us up to speed with regards to the latest in East African sport.
Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Under 20 women football team are in residential camp in Kampala in preparation for the FIFA World Cup qualifier against Namibia due next month. Uganda and Namibia will play both their home and away games in Kampala. Uganda Queen Cranes coach Cheryl Boats gives us the details of her team's preparations.
Good afternoon. We're happy that we get to start the camp today in preparation for Namibia. We 4 players that's still coming. The one that's from Eastern Uganda and the other one still waiting from Western Uganda. But they will be here tonight to join with us tomorrow. We have a mixture of players, younger ones, ones that have picked up, shall I say, selected at the USA Schools Championship. St. Mary's Magdalene, St. Noah that was in the championship as well, Bunia High School, Shama Football Club. So quite a few youngsters that we have, and we've got to blend them now with the players that played for the under-17s before as well as for the under-20s. So we've got a mixed bag of players, but I believe we need to give the younger ones the exposure to be able to compete with the ones that are playing in the WSL. So the group of players now today is really a combination of under-20s, under-17s, and a few from the USA Schools Championship that we've selected. I'm happy with our start so far. I think day one is always a challenge. Players that have to settle and get used to the training that they want. And obviously we had a football topic that we wanted them to do today. Somehow, some challenge with certain terminology. Some struggled a little bit with what we wanted, but as the training session continued, the girls got a bit better. They had more confidence, more belief in themselves. I think going forward, those are the aspects that we're going to continue doing that, giving them the belief, give them the confidence that this is where they need to be. It's representing the national team, and it's a great honor to be here. And they really, really need just to come and do their best, you know. And I'm confident that the group that I've selected can show the country, can show FIFA and the women's football in this country that this is my place and I can make a difference, you know. And it's really an honor to represent your country. And this is the words and the speeches that we always make to the players, that they've got to believe in themselves. But day one, like I said, is always difficult, but I believe tomorrow will be much better. We've got quite good players in the squad with good potential, players with maturity and experience like Agnes Nembokeni is here. We're waiting on Desire. We've got Sylvia Kabene. We just brought in Jasmine from, I think, She Corporate. So we've given some new players a chance. And the ones that will give us the experience, even Patricia Naiga, I remembered her that she always came for camps and she always never made the squad, and I could see there's a difference. She's more hungrier, she's bringing the game. Esther Nankedo is this another player that we had before. Imelda Casimiro, we've had her in the under-17s as well. She's here. We've got Dorcas Kisiyake, I think, also in the squad. So I'm happy that the under-17s are now coming through to the under-20s, and I think that is what we want. We want consistency. We want the progression from one national team to the next one, and then hopefully from here, from the under-20s, we will be able to promote some of the under-20 players and from this squad to Crested Cranes.
Still in women football, the Sekafa CAF Women's Champions League zonal qualifiers have reached the semi-final stage. This after Uganda's champions Kampala Queens, Rayon Sport of Rwanda, Kenya Police and JKT Queens of Tanzania became the last 4 teams in the championship. Now Uganda's Kampala Queens will take on Rwanda's Rayon Sport in the semi-final tomorrow as Kenya Bullets take on JKT Queens. We spoke to Kampala Queens coach Asefa Fidewe and player Precious Fili, who told us about their semi-final game plan.
My team effort has brought us to the semi-final. I appreciate my team for that. But now this is a new task, a new challenge. At this level, there must be only one winner to go for the final. We have watched our opponent playing, and they have watched us also. But I believe that my team will handle them very carefully, minimize mistake, and compete for the best result.
Yes, we qualified for the semi-finals and it wasn't easy for us, but we'll try our level best so that we carry the trophy. There's too much competition. Everyone is trying the level best. Lion Sports is not an easy team. For us, we are ready and we are preparing very well for the semi-finals. Oh, actually, yes, it's my first time and I'm going to do my level best. I'm going to help the team so that we win the tournament. There is a pressure because our coaches expect more from us so that we win these semi-finals, but we can handle the pressure and we can prove them that we can manage.
Now to volleyball, the 27th edition of the Kampala Amateur Volleyball Club International Tournament served off in Kampala on Friday with over 30 clubs from Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda and South Sudan competing in both the men and women categories. The 3-day championship ends on Sunday. Competitions Director Levia Nashaba explains the tournament.
This is the 27th edition of the NSSF KVC International. We are happy we have received a big turn-up. So far we have teams from all the East African countries. We have teams from Rwanda, teams from Kenya, teams from Burundi, teams from South Sudan, and of course our very own teams from Uganda. For men we have 15 teams. Women we have 13 teams. The championship is running smoothly. We are almost concluding the preliminary stage. We are actually doing the last round of the preliminary stages. The last 2 matches are going to be in the indoor in the evening for the fans to enjoy and have a great evening. And tomorrow morning we shall start with the quarterfinals and semi-finals, and Sunday we shall have the finals and the bronze medal match. Day one really has showed a lot of excitement. The competition is so stiff. All the teams that are here are the top teams in the countries that I've mentioned. The competition is higher than we had last year. There is improvement in the quality of the game, the quality of the skill, the individual players. The competition is so high this year. I am optimistic. We have a very strong KVC team that is so far leading its pool, that is Pool A. And looking at how the other teams are playing, I expect that team to actually take the day and become the champions of this edition. The main objective of this championship is to avail and give affordable competition to our Uganda players, because this is a chance and opportunity to play the top teams in the region. We actually invite the top teams in Rwanda, top teams in Kenya, top teams in South Sudan and Burundi as well as Tanzania. So Ugandans have an opportunity to get affordable competition. Those who can't go for African Club Championship, this is a replica of Africa Club Championship. at an affordable price, having it here at home.
And finally, as the Uganda Premier League gets ready to kick off later this month, there is a misunderstanding between the clubs and the Football Federation over the new format that has been proposed by the Federation. 3 clubs, including defending champions Vipers Sports Club, 17 times record champion Sports Club Villa, and last season's second place NEC FC, have vowed not to play under the new league format. Well, that is it from me for now, and my name is Sam Poza in Kampala, Uganda.
Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Tamo Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. And join the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. From the villages to the bustling cities, where our cultures blend. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
16:22 Central African Time. You are still tuned in to Africa's number one, Africa at Play, as Deleli Shaya. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome. My name is Neto Chemane. We are together until 5 p.m. Central African Time. In 2020, Carling Black Label first became the official sponsor of the Currie Cup, the world's oldest rugby tournament. This once-in-a-lifetime sponsorship provided the brand an opportunity to tap into the rugby space and engage with a unique South African rugby audience, which were easily aligned with the brand's masculinity attributes. And we now welcome to the conversation the Carling Black Label marketing manager, Kwezi Vika, to talk all things sport as a business, also throwing forward to the upcoming Currie Cup semi-finals to find out what can we expect, especially for the consumers and the fans. Kwezi, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa.
Good afternoon, Neto, and good afternoon to the listeners of Africa Play.
Thank you so much for joining us. This conversation matches our topic of the day, where we were talking about big corporate brands, those that are shying away from coming into the sport space and invest through sponsorship and partnerships, making certain that they elevate and they contribute to the growth of sport on the African continent. Just your thoughts on some of the brands out there, the corporate brands that are not coming into the space of sponsorship. Your brand is doing wonders by making certain that you are in the forefront of this conversation.
100%. So I think I'll focus more on our brand, Carling Black Label, right, and the stuff that we've done. We see sponsorship as more than just a sponsorship, because what makes us uniquely Carling Black Label is that in any sporting code we go into, we link it to our insights, the brand's insight, which is when I have a voice, I feel empowered. So we always make sure that we give fans a voice in whatever sport that we are involved in. So I'll give an example. When we did the Carling Black Label Cup in 2011 in soccer, we gave fans the opportunity to be the champion coach by voting for the starting 11 of Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, once again giving them empowerment into the sport. Then when we got into rugby in 2020, the Currie Cup, one of the oldest rugby tournaments in the world, right? We said, how can we make this uniquely Carling to a new audience, which is the rugby audience? So what we said is, okay, let's empower them. We gave them the power to vote for a champion team, so they could vote for all the players that are represented in the Currie Cup. And we made one team, which was called the champion team, which played with another team across the world in rugby, right? So that's what we do. It's not about sponsorship, but it's about giving our champion fans a voice in the sport that they love.
Interesting indeed. And talking about sponsorship and partnerships and the role that you play in the world of sport, you also have come into the space of rugby, and we're now talking about the Currie Cup semi-finals that are still coming up. Actually, the matches that started at 4 p.m. Central African time, Golden Lions and Poland Cavaliers together with the Griquas and Free State Cheetahs, that match coming up at 18:15. Talk to us about what consumers can expect.
So I think consumers can expect what they've seen right throughout this year's tournament, right, which is a lot of action, a lot of competitiveness, and we say that the Currie Cup, one of the oldest tournaments in the world, we say this is where champions are made, because we are a champion beer. And what we see in the Currie Cup is that if you look at all the players that have represented us on a national level, they all came out of the Currie Cup, because that's where champions are made. So we are saying that what people are going to see are the future champions of this country coming up with this Currie Cup out of this year's tournament, the Currie Cup.
And looking at the semi-finals, who do you think will make it to the final and why?
Well, it's been such a entertaining and intense Carling Currie Cup this year. I think what we've noticed this year, which was very much inspiring, right, is with our partner SARU, the South African Rugby Union, we try to bring the games closer to communities. So if you saw that games like that the Sharks are playing, they'd go to stadiums in Claremont, in Pietermaritzburg, trying to get closer to fans and bring the sport closer to fans. We also saw like teams, smaller unions like the Poland Cavaliers in a small town in the Western Cape, Wellington, really play like champions, taking on the bigger unions, winning games, and even making it to the semi-final this year through the intensity and the way that they've played. So that's been phenomenal, because that's such a small community that doesn't get to experience stuff like this. And now they get into experience seeing the heroes from their community getting into the semi-finals. Teams like the Griquas as well have really played well. So I'm not sure, I'm not an oracle, I'm not sure who will win today, but I think we've been really impressed by how the smaller unions have stepped up. And obviously today now it becomes a moment where we see how champions are made. It's a knockout phase, it's a semi-finals, and I think the team that has the team that has the champion spirit will come out on top this weekend.
Worry not, rugby will definitely win that match. Please outline the new format that was introduced into this year's Currie Cup tournament.
So what this year's format really drove was, it was a shorter format and it was a round robin format, right? So it was a premier division of 8 teams divided into 2 groups made of 4. And in each group you played a home game, and you also played away. But to actually make it even more entertaining and to make sure that by the time we get to the semis, we've got the top teams that have really been tested to get to that stage, right? They even played one of each other from the different groups, right? So you can imagine the amount of having to lift yourself up to bring out the champion spirit every week until you get to the semifinals. So we really love this new format of this year, because it ensured that people were entertained, all the teams played each other, and now we can see who is the champion of champions with these semifinals.
If you have just joined us, we are wrapping up a conversation with the Cullen Black Label Marketing Manager, Kwezi Vika, talking all things their involvement in football and rugby, but also sport as a business. Kwezi, your thoughts on sport as a business? What precisely are we talking about?
I think, as I initially touched on earlier, the Cullen Black Label is all about being a champion, but what makes us unique and playing within sport, right, is what I mentioned, that we bring innovation and we empower champion fans. We don't just put a logo onto the tournament and then walk away. Our power is in how we empower fans and give them a voice to be a part of sport, and that's what makes us unique. We did it with the Carling Black Label Cup in football, where we did something that was never seen in the world, not just Africa, in the world, where a fan can be the champion coach of one of the biggest clubs in South Africa, Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, right? Never seen before. And then we did the same thing when we got into the Carling Currie Cup in 2020. We allowed our champion fans to vote for the champion team. So they could vote for any of the players in the Currie Cup tournament. So it was a fan-made team that could take on any team in the world. So that's what we bring into the sport, empowerment, and we believe that brands play such a critical role in the sports by involving fans, but also bringing it closer to communities.
And finally, in sponsorship partnerships, there's always return on investment, ROI spoken of. What does that entail?
So for us, obviously, we've got our amazing product, Carling Black Label. But more than anything, I think what sports does is bring people together, right? And we, as a product, are all about people having fun and enjoying being together, right? So when the two merge together, they kind of create a better environment for our people to enjoy themselves and to watch the sports that they love. So brands being involved in the space really gives us a good return on investment because it obviously involves our champion product being in the hands of our champion fans, but it also ensures that the sport as well is elevated in the eyes of the fans.
16:31 Central African Time. That's the voice of Kwezi Vika, who is the Carling Black Label marketing manager, talking to us on Africa at Play. Kwezi, thank you so much for talking to us on Africa at Play. All the best moving forward.
Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.
Let's now take a flight to West Africa and land in Lagos, Nigeria, where our correspondent Tony Robani is standing by to fill us up with the latest in Nigerian and West African sport.
For Nigerians, it's been lamentations and gnashing of the teeth, as well as that buck passing after Bafana held the Super Eagles to a 1-1 draw in their 2026 World Cup qualifier in Bloemfontein. The result has cast doubts on Nigeria's qualification match, and the Knights are out for those calling the shots. Former Super Eagles skipper and coach Sunday Olise has blamed the poor run of the senior national team on the engagement of a foreign coach. Olise was emphatic about his view of having a Nigerian coach to handle the Super Eagles. He noted that Eric Chell, a Malian, is not better than many grade A Nigerian coaches. The former Juventus player was speaking following the unimpressive run of the Super Eagles in Group C of the CAF 2026 World Cup qualifying series. Only on Tuesday, Nigeria played a 1-1 draw with the Bafana of South Africa in a match the country needed the 3 points to be back in the race. Sadly, the result left Eagles with 11 points from 8 games and third in Group C with 5 draws, 2 wins and 1 defeat. South Africa has 17 points, while Republic of Benin has 14 points from same number of games with 2 matches left. With the Eagles on the brink of an impending ouster for the World Cup taking place in the USA, Canada and Mexico, Olise placed the blame on the Nigeria Football Federation. He said, "I am a fan of the Nigerian brand. I'm totally in disagreement with foreigners running our national team, and any Nigerian who states otherwise should give back his or her passport. That's because the moment we accept that another race is better than us when it comes to managing our affairs, then if we are going to keep Chell as a coach, we are keeping the foreign coach. Then the next step for the government is to bring foreign football administrators. Let's take it one step higher, that maybe they will realize that they are killing the pride of Nigeria." Before the game against South Africa, Olise had insisted that the leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation will have no business staying a day longer should the Super Eagles fail to qualify back-to-back FIFA World Cups. If, as an administrator, you fail to qualify for 2 consecutive World Cups, which are worth hundreds of millions of dollars to a country's football industry, there is nowhere in the world where such leadership will remain in place. In his opinion, such a missed opportunity for Nigeria's national team to join the rest of the world in the 4-yearly Mundial damages the country's football progress. In Olise's words, every 4 years that you don't qualify for the World Cup, your football goes back 8 years. That is how it works. The Super Eagles will play the last round of games in the series next month against Lesotho away and Benin Republic at home. Sunday, Olise speaks.
I am a fanatical fan of the Nigerian brand. I am totally in disagreement with foreigners running our national team. And any Nigerian who says otherwise, then you should give back your passport. Because the reality is the fact that the moment we accept that another race is better than us when it comes to managing our affairs, then if we are going to keep Chelle as coach, we are going to keep the national team coach, we are going to keep him as coach. So we are keeping a foreign coach. The next step for the government to do is to bring us foreign football administrators. Let's take it one step higher. Maybe then they will realize that you are killing the trade of Nigerians. So let's kill also the trade of the administrators. Maybe that will bring it.
The Nigeria Football Federation has distanced itself from a post-match statement that criticized Super Eagles captain William Troost-Ekong and striker Cyril Dessers following Tuesday's 1-1 draw with South Africa in a Group C 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier. The statement purportedly issued under the name of NFF Director of Communications, Ademola Olajire, accused Dessers of being sluggish and faulted Troost-Ekong for the own goal against Bafana the lead. It read in part, Cyril Dessers, who had an unimpressive game in Uyo where he was the substitute that was substituted, did not have a better game, and he was too slow to latch onto passes, could not win aerial balls, and did little in bringing alive the Nigerian attack. On Troost-Ekong, he added, the Super Eagles fighting spirit was diminished for a period after team captain William Ekong inadvertently swept the ball into his own net in 25th minute, wrong-footing Stanley Nwabale to give Bafana the lead and great impetus. However, NFF General Secretary Mohamed Sanusi has stated that the statement did not represent the official position of the Federation. I saw the release just like everyone else did. Nobody in the Federation is happy with it. The NFF did not authorize that statement. We have great respect for all the players. Blaming an individual for a team result is unfair. When we win, it's a team victory. When we lose, it's also collective. No player should be singled out. Ekong's own goal was unfortunate. His intention was to clear the ball. Anyone who knows football understands that such things happen, Sanusi said. He further assured that the Federation remains united and focused on the remaining qualifiers and the upcoming AFCON 2025 in Morocco. Our house is in order. We are preparing for the rest of the qualifiers and the AFCON in Morocco. There is no problem with our players or coaching crew. The government and the NFF are proud of the players' efforts, he added. Sanusi confirmed that internal disciplinary action would be taken over the unauthorized release. NFF scribe Sanusi speaks.
Nobody in the Federation is happy with that release. NFF did not direct. NFF has respect for all the players, and it was a collective responsibility. When we win, it wasn't an individual. And if we lose, there should not be blame for any individual player. It was a collective one. Nobody was happy, and we are not happy that an individual is singled out. That individual has contributed significantly to the development of football in Nigeria. Remember last AFCON, he was the best footballer. He was the best player, and we celebrated him. So I don't know how this thing came, but nobody is happy. But Nigeria Football Federation is taking action on that matter. No player. When things come, they come spontaneously. The intention was to clear the ball. That was the intention. But as God will have it, it was a destiny that the ball entered. But Ekong will not deliberately score an own goal. No player will score an own goal. That is understood by everybody that knows football.
And more lamentations follow as former Super Eagles goalkeeper Daniel Akpeyi has expressed his disappointment over Nigeria's 1-1 draw against South Africa in their Group C of 2026 World Cup qualifier, saying an imminent 2026 World Cup means doesn't augur well for the development of the game. We are looking for the 3 points so that we can be able to have the opportunity for us to qualify. But unfortunately, it looks more like a cow going through the eye of a needle. It's hard. A crestfallen Akpeyi said, I feel sad to be honest because there are other young players in the team who actually want to be in the World Cup. The 39-year-old further expressed sadness over the team's current misfortune in the qualification run for the next year's Mundial. You see, we caused our own misfortune. Just imagine the game against Rwanda. We tried to get out of that game with a goal which gives us 3 points and a lifeline for this game against South Africa. But unfortunately, we couldn't get the desirable results we are looking up to. Akpeyi congratulated South Africa on their performance and highlighted the importance of team spirit and cohesion, citing South Africa's success under coach Hugo Bruce. Akpeyi, who has stints in the South African Premier League, believes the team needs to prepare early to qualify for the World Cup in the future, adding, we can no longer be reckoned with as the giant of Africa. He emphasized that every team is stepping up their game, making qualification more challenging. I think probably this is going to teach us a lesson that we need to prepare early because we don't need to depend on we being the giants of Africa. That used to be the case, but now no team is an underdog. Everyone is stepping up to the game. Akpe had an illustrious career, playing for several clubs, including Gabros International, Nasarawa United, Heartlands, Warri Wolves, and Kaizer Chiefs, and Chippa United. He also represented Nigeria in several international tournaments, including the 2018 FIFA World Cup and the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Daniel Akpe speaks.
For the 3 points so that we can be able to, have opportunity for us to qualify, but unfortunately it looks more like we're going to be like a cow trying to go through the eye of a needle. It's sad. It's sad. I think probably this is going to teach us a lesson that we need to prepare early, because we don't need to depend on we being a giant of Africa. That used to be the case, but now no team is underdog. Everybody is stepping up to the game. It's just unfortunate that we have to find ourselves in this situation. I feel sad, to be honest. I feel sad because there are other young players who is in the team who actually want to be in the World Cup. But you see, we caused our own misfortune. Just imagine the game with Rwanda when we try to get out of that game with a goal, which gives us 3 points and to give us a lifeline for this game. But unfortunately, we couldn't get, the desirable result that we were looking up to. But congratulations to South Africa for this.
Former Super Eagles Tahiti Mason has noted there is nothing special about the current players in the national team. According to him, the players, including Ademola Lookman, who is the reigning African Footballer of the Year, are all average players. Yes, you heard me right. All average players. He said this after watching his country play out a disappointing 1-1 draw with South Africa in the 2026 World Cup qualifying game on Tuesday. Nigeria locked arms with South Africa in a must-win Group C match day 8 fixture in Bloemfontein, and all the Super Eagles could settle for was a 1-1 draw. Nigeria captain William Trossekon gave the side the lead through an own goal in the 25th minute. Fulham defender Calvin Bassey ensured the visitors leveled before halftime with a 44th minute superb header. With a draw, Nigeria's hopes of going to North America for the World Cup next year further disappeared as they are just on 11 points, 6 points behind leaders Bafana. Essien was disappointed with the result, lamenting the fact that the three-time African champions are on the verge of missing out on another World Cup appearance. The former international said, "We have average players in the Super Eagles. The team lacks creativity. We have players who cannot confidently take on a player and be the player one-on-one. Nobody can make anything happen. It's a sad day for Nigerian football. It is unimaginable that we will miss another World Cup. It's terrible." Nigeria still has a slim chance of making it to the showpiece by beating their next two opponents, Lesotho and Benin Republic, next month. Benin Republic are sitting second in the Group C following a 4-0 win over Lesotho on Tuesday. And Super Eagles head coach Eric Chell believes his team can still earn a berth at the 2026 FIFA World Cup despite failing to beat Bafana of South Africa. Chell's side battled to a 1-1 draw with South Africa at the Bloemfontein on Tuesday night. The result put a dent on Nigeria's chances of securing a place at the Global Soccer Fiesta. The Super Eagles remain in third position in Group C with 11 points from 8 games, 6 points behind leaders South Africa. Chelsea declared that they won't give up in their fight to qualify for the World Cup. "My players are professionals and I know they will still want to win the remaining 2 games, Chelsea said. A lot can happen over the next 1 month, but before that, we will have to analyze our performance, which will not be easy. The Super Eagles will be away to Lesotho when the qualifiers resume in October. On November, they will host Squirrels of Benin Republic in their final game in the qualifiers same month." Eric Chell speaks.
There's a lot of intensity, aggressivity, and because the beach, the two teams try to play well, and for me, my point of view, they did. Congratulations to South Africa. They did a great game. Nigeria team too, our team too. So we wanted to take a risk to stay in first half, to stay in one-on-one behind, because for us, we come to try to win this game. So we wanted to take a risk, and just we made just 30 seconds and we took a goal. But after that, we had the state of mind coming back, and at the beginning of the second half, we put a lot of pressure on South Africa. but it needs something, maybe the last technical skill, maybe the last pass, or maybe the best choice. So a draw is a good result, but make a draw in South Africa against this great team. It's a good result, but for us, we wanted to win, so we are a little disappointed, but this is the football.
And former Super Eagles midfielder Mutiu Adepoju, known as the headmaster because he scored most of his goals with hers, has said there was no other reason Nigeria would have settled for a 1-1 draw with South Africa if not for the bad condition of the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein. He blamed the pitch for the 1-1 draw in Tuesday's 2026 World Cup qualifier and faulted Eric Chell for leaving Uche Crisantus too long on the bench. He also blamed the players for not giving pull-outs from the wings so that Tolu Arokodare could connect with it. Mutiu Adepoju speaks.
I think we still have a lot to do, depending on the players we have on the field. For example, Uche Crisantus is very, very strong player and all that. He should have come earlier. Because when he came in, he gave some three passes that were very dangerous, like the one that Arokodare went for. He was the one that gave that pass and went in. Then we should be able to at least make use of the opportunity of the player that we have on the field. We know that we have an Arokodare. He's very big, huge. He has an presence and all that. He can block the goalkeepers, and he's very. I should believe that he is very good with the head. So there should be pull-outs. There should be crosses and all those things, and so that we can make use of the advantages of the players that we have on the field.
The defeat leaves Nigeria third in the Group C table behind Benin Republic on 14 points and South Africa on 17 points. I am not really happy with the kind of pitch that was used for this big game. As you can see, the Super Eagles players are really struggling to cope with it because it's a bumpy pitch, Mutiu said. And former captain of the senior national team of Nigeria, John Obi Mikel, says the entire board of the Nigeria Football Federation should quit their role if the team fails to make it to the World Cup for the second time. Super Eagles are facing difficult starts making it to the tournament after a 1-1 draw against group leaders South Africa, a result that means that their spot at the World Cup is almost over. Speaking on his Obi-Wan podcast, Mikel called on the board of the NFF to throw in the towel and cover their faces in shame for another failed attempt to make it to the World Cup. Mikel Obi speaks.
Now I feel for the people of my country. I feel for people in Nigeria. Because they're going to be devastated right now again for the second time running. We're not going to qualify for the World Cup.
Does anything change if you don't?
Oh, mate, it has to.
Yeah.
It has to. If we don't make it to the World Cup, if we don't qualify, I just think the whole board of the NFF, they need to go. They need to go. Sorry, they have to go. If we don't qualify for the World Cup, the whole board of the NFF. I'm saying it right now.
Do you get your CV in?
I'm saying it right now. Because it's not acceptable.
No.
Twice in a row, we're not going to qualify for the World Cup. We are the biggest country, footballing country in Africa. The biggest. I don't care what anybody says. Mo Salah, Egypt, whatever. I don't care.
AUSISA, the Association of Water and Sanitation Institution of South Africa, is a platform uniting Africa's water professionals. This November, Africa leads the conversation on water and sanitation. Join global and African leaders at the AUSISA Africa and Global South Dialogue 2025 from the 9th till the 12th of November at the Emperor's Palace, Johannesburg. From policy innovation, this is where action meets collaboration for a water-secure future. Register today at ausisa-watersan-dialogue.org or follow at AUSISA on social media. AUSISA, working together for sustainable water and sanitation security in Africa.
16:50 Central African Time. We are heading to a goodbye moment, but we can never do so without finding out what's coming up on Mix Vibration with Annika Lonch. Bonjour.
Neto, bonjour à tous les auditeurs de Channel Africa. Alors tout à l'heure sur Mix Vibration,
nous allons faire comme nous le faisons d'habitude, c'est-à-dire danser, bouger, n'est-ce pas, et surtout se relaxer. C'est le week-end, c'est samedi. Et nous allons aujourd'hui parler, dans notre segment dédié aux héros communautaires, nous allons parler de ce que les artistes peuvent faire, comment est-ce qu'ils peuvent contribuer, n'est-ce pas, ils peuvent lever des fonds afin de contribuer aux œuvres caritatives, n'est-ce pas, afin de contribuer aux œuvres des bienfaits, n'est-ce pas, pour faire du bien aux autres, comment est-ce qu'ils peuvent mettre leurs talents ensemble et lever des fonds. Alors, c'est tout à l'heure sur Mix Vibration. Merci beaucoup, Neto.
Merci beaucoup. Stay tuned to Channel Africa from an African perspective. We are broadcasting to the world in 5 languages, in English, Chinyanja, Kiswahili, Portuguese, and French. Mix Vibration coming your way in French. It's time for sports news. Starting off with rugby news. A week after the Wallabies had beaten the Pumas thanks to a try after the final hooter, Argentina managed to secure a 28-26 victory this time around as they capitalized on an undisciplined performance from their hosts. Pumas fly half Santiago Carreras kicked 7 penalties and a conversion in Sydney, with 23 points coming from his boot. Julian Montoya, who was playing his 112th test and 50th as Argentina skipper, scored his side's only try. It came in the 8th minute and followed Joseph Suwali having gone over the line for Australia early on. The Pumas led 19-7 at halftime and were 28-7 up before 3 late tries from Wallabies set up an exciting finish. Still with rugby news, South Africa humiliated New Zealand and condemned the All Blacks to their heaviest ever defeat with a 43-10 win. South Africa only led by 3 points at halftime, but was sensational in the second half with tries from Cheslin Colby, Damian Willems, Kwagga Smith, Archies Neyman, and Andre Esterhuizen. Here's Springboks captain Siya Kolisi.
Yeah, I want to give credit to my boys. We didn't give up. And to our coach as well, to giving guys opportunity in a games like this. It's a squad effort, it's a squad effort. Everybody was talking about a young team. How do you make the young teams experience? You get them to play. So thank you to them and the guys that didn't get opportunity to play in New Zealand. To take our opportunities when we get them. We created 13 opportunities. Sometimes teams don't get those opportunities against New Zealand. It's really hard to get in the 22. And we played fearless. We said we're not going to hold back. We know what we need to do. And we believed in ourselves. That was the most important thing out there. We told the guys, like Sasha, we don't box them. Do what's in your skill set and go 100%. And that's what we did today.
In boxing news, Terence Crawford insists he's ready to shock the world when he takes on Canelo Alvarez in a historic fight at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Is moving up 2 weight classes to take on Canelo, and the 37-year-old is bidding to become the first male boxer to become an undisputed champion across 3 divisions. Speaking in their final press conference, Crawford says he's more than ready.
I'm feeling great, I'm ready to go shock the world. Anybody can be a nobody, and for what everybody say, I haven't fought anybody, so come Saturday, we're going to all see. I think fights like this help the sport of boxing, grow in a sense of having the best fight the best, and it ain't going to do nothing but make the sport better, and the best going to start fighting the best.
Crawford goes into tonight's clash undefeated in 41 professional fights and undisputed at both super lightweight and welterweight, and held world titles in 4 different divisions. Canelo is a 4th division and 2-time undisputed champion and says he has what it takes to outbox Crawford.
I feel great. For me, this fight means a lot, and I feel great. Ready. I can't wait for Saturday night. And thank everybody coming to support the event, and I can't wait. This fight for me is big. It's one of the biggest fights in my career for sure. Means a lot, this win, and it's gonna be in the very top.
37-year-old Crawford moved up 2 full-weight divisions for the first time ever after winning his 4th world title last year, and insists he will use the fight to rewrite the history books.
It's going to be stamped in the history books, and the debate is going to be over. My focus is go out there and do what I do best, and that's win the fight decisively, and that's what I'm looking forward to do come Saturday.
For Alvarez, the fight presents an opportunity to silence critics who say he'd avoided the toughest challenges in recent years and add yet another Hall of Fame name to his resume. And he says this is one of his best fights to date.
My best performance. I'm gonna put everything I have there in this fight, and you're gonna see all my elements there in the fight.
The long countdown is over. The 20th edition of the World Athletics Championships has begun in Tokyo, Japan, with Team South Africa fielding a strong squad of 49 athletes. Kenya has the largest African contingent with 58 athletes. Ethiopia follows in third place with 37, Uganda 21, while Southern African region neighbors Botswana has 12 and Zimbabwe 8. Our UK-based sports correspondent Keshom Sejinyati spoke to South Africa team leader John Vester and Uganda coach Peter Chelengati.
Over 2,000 athletes from 200 countries are battling it out across 49 track and field events over the next 9 days in Tokyo, a true festival of speed, strength and endurance. African nations, particularly from the East, Ethiopia, Kenya and Uganda, are once again expected to dominate the distance races and marathon events for both men and women. But there is growing confidence from the South as well. Team South Africa team leader John Vester says the team is ready to compete and confident of strong performances. Sprint ace Akani Simbine leads a promising men's 4x100 meters relay team. Simbine anchored the country's team at the Paris Olympic Games, where they won a silver medal, finishing just behind Canada. He combined forces with Bayanda Walaza, Bracklin Koane and Sean Maswangani. Following her silver medal at the Olympic Games as well, Joanne van Dijk is a medal hopeful in the women's javelin throw. South Africa's team leader, John Vester, had this to say ahead of the Games. A little later, Uganda's team coach Peter Shalangati also shared high hopes of his country's team performances.
Yes, Team South Africa has arrived in Tokyo for the World Championships 2025. We're very excited. We've got a big team, 49 athletes, quite a few relays, and we're really looking forward to it. It's very hot and humid, a bit cooler this morning, but we're well prepared and hoping for a good championships. A lot of young athletes as well, and the young athletes we're building now towards Los Angeles 2028, so hopefully we'll have a good championships. Looking forward to the sprints events with the likes of Akani Simbine. He's been just out of the medals many times, and hopefully this is his year. Already won a bronze indoors, and our relay teams, really looking forward to them. Johanne du Plessis in the javelin, as you saw last year, got the silver at the Olympics. So we've got quite a few medal contenders, and we're really looking forward to these championships. Well organized, and Team South Africa is ready for it. So let's all come, and we'll see what happens over the next 9-10 days.
The team of Uganda, have arrived in Tokyo, Japan, and we have come to participate in the World Championship.
16:58 Central African Time. It is that time of the afternoon where we have no choice but to say goodbye. We are not complaining because we are back again tomorrow. Same place, same time, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Thank you to Didimalo, Tito Fabulous Makau, our technical operator, to Miss Lema, our social guru media, our social guru specialist, as well as Mike Mokwena, who is our audiovisuals specialist, and my producer Andisiwe Fagimalu Zobona Mali. My name is Neto Neto Chemane. Hosiati Konyangazi Momkajwa Padle Gonjani Moyani Vogo Tendele. Africa and the world. Be nice, be kind to a fellow global citizen. Africa at Play. Astelel Siashaya. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Max Vibration, tous les samedis, de 15h à 16h, temps universel, avec